any device on the Apple TV app. Don't forget to tune in an hour before the match at 7:30 to catch Kickoff Minus 60 airing exclusively on the Lion Nation app.
Thinking about selling your home? Well, hold on to your packing tape. The Nickley Group can sell houses faster than you can find that one missing sock. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home from the Nickley Group today. Visit thenickley.com.
It's always a good time for donuts, so indulge in Shipley Donuts. Fresh-made donuts in delicious flavors from classic glaze to the Oreo cookie top treats, crafted with quality ingredients. Catering and online ordering is available. Visit Shipley Donuts, now open in Orlando on South Cimarron Boulevard.
If you or someone you know suffered any injuries involving a deployed airbag, you could be entitled to compensation. Morgan & Morgan has already recovered millions. Get America's largest injury law firm fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Sunset Walk presents the Best of Challenge Taco Edition, Saturday, October 5th at the Promenade. Join me and the cast of The Jim Colbert Show as we host the Best of Challenge. 11 venues competing to be crowned the best taco of Sunset Walk. Participants include Euphoria Fish House, Game Time, Rockin' Brews, and Lizzie's Memphis-style barbecue. VIP tasting tickets on sale now at sunsetwalk.com. Spectators and parking are free. Plus, DJ Scotty B, Society Band, and more. The Best of Challenge Taco Edition, Saturday, October 5th at Sunset Walk.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-239-1749, 800-239-1749, or biglou.com.
We've all made questionable decisions in life, like that time that you frosted the tips of your hair. But hiring an attorney shouldn't be. I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all injury cases. If you are not completely satisfied with the way we treat you in your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com.
Boost Mobile built America's newest 5G network and made it easier than ever to switch. And when you do, you can get a free Galaxy A25 5G. Need to hook up the whole family? With Boost Mobile, you can get 4 unlimited lines and 4 free 5G phones for only $100 per month. To switch, head to your local Boost Mobile store today and get your free Galaxy A25 5G or 4 unlimited lines and 5G phones for $100 a month. New customers only. Requires auto pay and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating dealers for details.
Hi, my name's Tim Forehand. I'm a deputy sheriff. In my job, keeping in shape is important. I've tried other products to get my weight down, but nothing has worked like Android 400. In just 3 months, I've dropped 51 pounds, down from 230 to 179. Plus, the weight's come off in the stomach area. I've gone from a snug 36-inch waist to a 32-inch waist, which I was in high school. I highly recommend the Android 400 to all my friends.
Guys, are you frustrated because no matter how hard you try, it seems impossible to lose stubborn belly fat? Then discover why thousands of men each month rely on Andro 400. Lose belly fat, gain energy and confidence, and feel great about yourself. Andro 400, the safe, effective, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
You are now listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
Welcome to the Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1. Hope you're having a very happy hump day, even if the weather is not cooperating. Jimmy will hopefully be back with us on Friday. In his place, you've got myself, his co-host Deb Roberts, our executive producer Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, such a special treat in the co-host chair today. Please join me in welcoming Alejandro from our sister station, Rumba. Hey, Alejandro.
But buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. How are you doing?
I keep coming back because Deb is the only woman that treats me like that in my life.
The only one, right?
That makes me feel so good about myself.
Oh, thank you so much, Alejandro. But we really do appreciate it because, for those who do not know, he does the morning show over at Rumba. You produce. So you're pretty much been here since, 5:30 this morning?
Yeah, 5:15, 5:30.
Okay.
Jack told me I was late.
Yeah.
We're here for 10 hours.
Well, I mean, you came in here.
2 minutes ago, I saw him.
Yeah, I saw him a little bit earlier than that. I was surprised you were still standing. I would have expected that you were taking a nap somewhere in the building, trying to get a little bit of shut-eye.
Oh, no, not on Wednesday.
No, not on Wednesday?
Fridays when nap is needed, but Wednesdays I'm still good.
Well, like I said, we appreciate you coming in and spending some time with us.
Thank you for having me. I love it.
Yeah, we do. So listen, we are going to have another meteorologist on with us from WOFL, Fox 35, coming up at about 3:45 this morning, just to get the latest on Helene and really what it's going to mean for us here in Central Florida. Right? We know Tallahassee is going to, be happy we're not in Tallahassee. But still, have you seen how big the wind field is on Hurricane Helene?
Yeah, hurricane now, right?
Yeah,
it just
exactly.
Today.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Category 1. It is a 370 miles where the winds extend outside of the center of the storm.
Yeah, my daughter is driving now right now because she's in FSU.
Oh, wow.
She lives in Tallahassee, and she's driving now for the weekend. They're closed until Sunday, hopefully.
Exactly.
No longer.
And I know
she's coming home?
Yeah.
I know with FSU students, they were specifically FSU and Gainesville, FMU or FAMU.
Yeah.
All those students because, again, this is going to be really unprecedented for Tallahassee. And the last thing they want is, college students
partying around.
Exactly.
You nailed it.
Let's be honest. That's what they do.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Thanks for putting it back into perspective for me. Yeah,
No
exactly.
problem.
I mean, but locally, we also have UCF that's closed on Thursday. We have Full Sail University is closed. Flagler College is closed. Seminole State College is closed. So pretty much assume that if you have any kids in school in all of Florida, really, expect them to be closed. It's interesting. Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, they were pretty much the only counties in Florida that were like, nah, don't worry about it. You guys aren't going to have to deal with it. Till 5 o'clock this morning, when they started getting those outer feeder bands coming in, they decided to go ahead and play it safe and put Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties and give them warnings as well and watches.
You know why, right? Because all those counties are run by Cubans. They're like, we've had worst.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to happen. Let's go to work. Let's go to school.
Be strong, right?
Yeah.
Gird your loins. We're okay. But, of course, we'll cover all of that coming up during Woke News. We also have Daryl Payne coming in for Animal House. So maybe you didn't get a chance to bring your dog to Suds, Pups, and Pints this past weekend. It's because they're crazy when you get them around people or kids and stuff. And you'd really like to be able to go out in public and maybe go to a dog park. Daryl Payne will be in for 2 segments in the 4 o'clock hour for Animal House. We're also going to talk to Orlando Sentinel columnist Scott Maxwell and the 5 o'clock hour Bradford Trivia. But it's really not Bradford Trivia, Jack. Jack, we still have a pretty sweet prize.
Oh, tickets Halloween Horror Nights, and that is happening, up through November 3rd. And so people are pretty excited about that. And don't call now.
No.
We're doing this at 5:45.
But it also comes with a parking pass.
Oh, free parking. I love free parking.
Now, have you reached that adult stage yet, Alejandro?
No.
No.
You can stop there. I haven't reached the adults. I haven't reached that adult stage for anything you were going to ask.
Okay, so parking, when you go somewhere, parking is of no consideration whatsoever. Like if you're going to go to a concert or a club and you know that you're going to have to park maybe 6, 7, 10 blocks out.
See, I maintain that the older you get, the more you're concerned with where am I going to park.
Exactly.
I'd go there, yeah, but parking's going to be a mess. I'm not going to go.
Right. If I've got an Uber after I've parked, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the Uber is just as expensive
Just
after a
as
big
expensive,
event.
exactly.
Even the little bicycle taxis are very expensive.
Very, exactly. So does it matter to you, or you're going to party no matter where you have to park?
Yeah, I haven't got it to that adult stage yet.
My next lifetime, I want to come back as Alejandro.
Yeah, no, there's. I party. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
I worry about walking later.
He tells these stories. He's telling you think he's this playboy who's out all night, smoking cigars, drinking bourbon, like he is in the picture on our Instagram story right now.
Absolutely.
However, he's got 2 grown kids who are one is out in the workforce doing well. The other one's a college student, happily met. Well, let's call him married for a long time.
I'm happily married. I can't speak for my wife.
Okay, there you go. There you go. So he talks all this talk, but he's a pretty down to earth guy. Maybe
I don't know. I think he is the real life G.I. Joe.
You think?
I've been very lucky.
Yeah.
Do you know who he reminds
me of? To live that
of?
life and still be here with everything you just.
Yeah. Who was the character that the suave older gentleman? Not Jose Cuervo, but you always saw the commercials. Like he was the guy,
the most interesting man in the world.
The most interesting man in the world.
Dos
yes,
Equis commercial.
Dos Equis. There you go. Every man wanted to be him. Every woman wanted to be with him.
Yeah, Alejandro could pull that off.
That's what I was for Halloween.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Right?
It is perfect. Absolutely, absolutely. Do you already know what you're going as for Halloween this year?
No.
No, not yet.
I'm still the most interesting man in the world, no matter what I wear. But
don't hate you because you're beautiful,
not this
right?
year. I don't even know what day it lands this year.
I want to say I think Halloween is a Thursday. Yeah, exactly. Which means nothing for your world, Alejandro, because Thursday is just another day that ends in Y. Yep, it is a Thursday.
Good guess.
Good job, Jack. So you got Halloween on a Thursday and Dia de los Muertos on a Friday. So you will find our good friend Alejandro in a puddle of bourbon starting on Wednesday, finishing up on Sunday. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay,
probably
good.
a toga. I'll probably go in a toga.
In a toga?
Because I just wore one for this cruise I went to.
Right.
And it's the most comfortable thing ever. I just want to wear togas all the time now. Think about it. It's just like a robe.
Yep, that's
with
it.
like pretty things on it. And I just want to be in it. I told my wife, just buy me 10 of them. And she said, how dumb will you look? I'm like, people will start following. I'll start a trend.
There you go.
Right.
I'll
You're
go
right.
everywhere in my toga.
See, that's
like
the-
Julius Caesar.
Everyone tries to fit. Oh, I can't do that. Other people aren't doing that. You just do it with confidence, and other people will start following you.
I mean, if he is the most interesting man in the world, right? Start a toga trend. Jack,
Yeah.
would you wear a toga?
I
You
have
have.
to a toga party.
That's right.
But you get used to it. It's like for
You
a
do get
guy,
used
it's
to
like
it.
for a guy, you're like,
I was
oh
going to
wow,
say, for a guy,
I'm
it's
wearing a
comfortable.
dress. But
I'm feeling air in places I normally don't.
yeah, but then you get used to it. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
What about a kilt? Would you wear a kilt? Wow.
You thought I was playing
okay.
with my
Don't show
toga.
the camera there.
No,
Jeff.
don't show the camera. Now I'm embarrassed.
No, you're not.
I have a funny
look,
post on everything.
Time out. That's not only a toga. That's like not just a sheet.
You did go as Julius Caesar.
That's an outfit.
That is an outfit.
I
Where
was
did you
running
get
the
that?
party.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out it wasn't even a toga party. I found out when I got there, but it was so comfortable.
Was it even a costume party, or you just showed up?
No, it was like an all-white party.
Oh, no.
And the cruise.
An all-white party, and you show up in the red toga.
Yeah, and they told me, you can come in, you're Cuban. I didn't even get the party ready. But the toga got me in the party.
I bet the toga got you in the party. That attitude you were wearing with the toga probably got you in the party.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
And then everybody at the white party couldn't help but notice the one guy wearing white with a splash of red, walking around like he owns the place, right?
Everybody noticed it. I started selling it. I started telling people this is the most comfortable thing I've ever worn.
Why did we get rid of those clothes, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sandals and togas. Yeah.
I'm going to wear it everywhere.
Well, next time you fill in and you co-host, can you promise us?
I was going to ask Jack, would you invite me back if that's what I wear all the time now?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Are you kidding? The YouTube hits?
I don't think Jimmy's going to let me back with that.
Oh, you don't even need to worry about. Jimmy's not even going to know about that.
Okay.
Jimmy will not even know about that. I know that we have several straight men who listen to us who would love to see you in a toga. And they're not even P. Diddy fans.
No, but they already did if they were following on you guys online.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were going to put it in the camera.
Well, I mean, can't just keep that for myself, Alejandro. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
I just wanted you to show you that I do live like that.
Yeah, you do.
I'm looking for the most interesting men in the world, too, because I was that. I don't even make my stories up. I live them.
That's what makes them so interesting. And those are the stories that you can tell us.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the ones I could say on the air.
But there's more stories, aren't there?
I'm going to start a podcast, I think.
You're going to start what?
Yeah, that's what you need. Another job.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I don't know if iHeart's going to allow me to with my stories.
There's that safe haven time.
Yeah, they're over that hump. Yeah, you can do a podcast.
Oh, yeah, exactly, exactly.
They'll put it up there in a second.
Somebody just texted us at 77031 that now they want to wear a toga. Listen, as we continue to go through the rest of the day today, getting ready for Hurricane Helene, you know, we always welcome your text messages and your talkbacks. And today I'd like to hear where you guys are listening to us from, right? It's so easy for us to think that we're just talking to maybe Orange, Seminole, or Osceola counties. But in reality, Real Radio has a reach that goes so far beyond that. We had a talkback last week that came to us from the oil fields of Alaska.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yep. So, yeah, with the free iHeartRadio app and you're being able to listen on your smart speaker, you literally could be anywhere in the world.
Absolutely. So download that free iHeartRadio app. When you're there, hit that little red microphone. Give us your best 15 to 30 seconds. Shorter, always better. Listen back. That really helps Jack out a lot.
Just give us good content.
Exactly. Make sure your window's rolled up, your radio is down, but tell us where you're listening to us from. It could be in Florida. It could be anywhere. If you are in Florida, tell us what it's looking like in your neighborhood as we all get ready for what is expected to be a major category Hurricane Helene.
Do you have a map? You need a map. You could put pins in the map.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. Absolutely. But we really do want to hear from you.
That's Deb's idea of fun, everybody.
Pins in a map.
Yeah. You tell us where you're listening, and she's going to find it on a map.
Listen, like Alejandro, I have some stories. I just can't tell mine on the air either. So what we are going to do, though, is take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get woke. We're going to talk about President Biden approving an emergency declaration for Florida. And news outside of Hurricane Helene, a judge sides with Disney in a dispute with Orange County. And oh my, could it end up being expensive for Orange County Public Schools. And then coming soon to a couch near you, a couple of highly anticipated movies finally coming to streaming. We'll tell you what those are and when and more coming up next during Woke News. So keep it here on The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
Sure, you could use it to work out.
Are you ready to work together to create a healthier life?
Or you could just say, Alexa, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
Traffic is moving slowly on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area for those taking the interstate east and westbound between Osceola Parkway and 535. Traffic is moving well for the most part on the Beach Line and the Greenway this afternoon. Things are looking good east and westbound on the 408. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer.
I got my together.
I got my together.
you can get your shots together too. Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Listen up, peeps out there. If you have plans to sell your home for any reason out there, you got to take a few minutes and learn about the Nickley Group before you make a move. These guys are really changing the real estate game. Stress-free, innovative real estate solutions for home sellers and buyers. And do not believe the news that the market is softening. Homes in this area are selling for record prices still. And if you're considering selling your home for any reason, any at all, downsizing, relocating, maybe you just need a bigger house because your family's getting bigger, you got to contact the guys at the Nickley Group. Not only does the Nickley Group sell homes on an average for 6% more, they're going to sell them twice as fast as well. You could get your home valued instantly. You could get a guaranteed cash offer right now if you'd like, or just list your home. Do that today at thenickley.com. You can Google them. They 3,000 5-star reviews. They're good at what they do. And if you're longing for that next level real estate experience, which includes a lot of stuff, mortgage services, moving assistance, elite marketing, a team of experienced realtors, and much more, it is simple. It's thenickley.com. That's N-I-C-K-L-E-Y group.com.
iHeartRadio brings you Global Citizen Festival 2024 from New York City at Central Park's Great Lawn. Live performances from Post Malone, Doja Cat, Jelly Roll, Benson Boone, and more. Join the movement to end extreme poverty now, one action at a time at GlobalCitizenFestival.com. Hear the entire festival live on the iHeartRadio app all day this Saturday, and the best moments on the free iHeartRadio app's Hit Nation station Saturday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Connection, opportunity, possibility. It's what we all want. Spectrum has built a world where anything is possible, with products and services designed to work better together for a seamless connectivity experience. A connection to family and friends, a connection to education, and a connection to new opportunities. So there's no limit to how big we can dream. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
In this week's Marketers Report, we learn about the value of local influencers in uncertain times from Allison Griffin, head of marketing at State Farm.
The economy is tough for everyone, and taking a step back and understanding the pain that your customers are currently going through because of a tough environment is really important. We have 19,000 agents across the country, and they understand what's going on in those very unique communities. iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is local, connected, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-522-5700. 800-522-5700.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Miss part of the show? The Jim Colbert Show on Demand. Available on the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, Deborah and Colbert and crew, man. Hey, this is Paul from Orm Beach, Florida, man, checking in. Gotta tell you, you live on the West Coast. When this last Hurricane Ian came through and sucked all the water from Tampa Bay and it redeposited in Naples, I'm like, whoa, run, Forrest, run. Y'all have a blessed day. Love the show, man. Have a great day. And I'm in a toga.
See, Alejandro, you're already influencing our audience, and you've been here all of 20 minutes.
I'm telling you, it's going to catch on.
It is going to catch on. Hey, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1. Weather permitting, we hope to have Jim back on Friday, but don't worry, you've got Deb, Jack, and Alejandro, and every day at this time, we like to do what we call Get Woke.
And now,
Instead of toke.
it's time for Woke News. It seems like kind of a misuse of the whole woke on the Jim Colbert Show.
And Woke News is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. Give him a listen Saturday when he's host of the Home Loans Radio Show. All right, Hurricane Helene is expected to intensify quickly into a Category 3 storm already at 80-mile-per-hour winds. Hugh Willoughby with the Florida Commission on Hurricane Loss Projection Methodology, say that 5 times fast, says Helene is aggressively being fueled by 2 things as it nears Florida.
It's both the loop current and the shallow water that extends far to the west of the Florida Peninsula.
So he says when storms churn in that loop current, they keep drawing in new, hotter water for longer than in other areas. Now, get this, several storms have followed this track, like Idalia, Ida, Ian, and Irma. Helene is projected to hit the Gulf Coast with 15 feet of storm surge. Meanwhile, Tallahassee has never taken a direct hit from a major hurricane, at least not in the last 75-plus years. That has Mayor John Daley issuing a dire warning about Hurricane Helene.
If our community remains central in Helene's path as forecasted, we will see unprecedented damage like nothing we have ever experienced before as a community.
Yeah, mandatory evacuation has been ordered for manufactured homes in Leon County, with risk shelters opening at 7 schools beginning at 6 p.m. Residents are being told to prepare to be without power for days and be ready for structural damage and downed trees. Daley says recovery will be a marathon, not a sprint. What's interesting is that because they haven't been hit by a storm in over 75 years, you have generations of tree growth in Tallahassee that have never been tested by tropical weather. And if you remember, when Hurricane Charlie hit Orlando, that was the same case here. And that's part of the reason why the city itself lost over 20,000 trees, because all that new tree growth, no tropical weather. Speaking of being closer to home, Orange County government will suspend regular services tomorrow because of Hurricane Helene spinning in the Gulf.
It has been estimated that we will likely see the greatest impact sometime tomorrow morning, and as the day goes on, the conditions will deteriorate.
Mayor Deming says he's concerned about tornadoes and heavy rainfall causing flooding because the ground is already so saturated from summer rainfall. Keep in mind, we are expected to be on the right side, or the quote-unquote dirty side of Helene. Deming
Who you calling dirty?
I'm right here. Deming says Public Works has been lowering the levels of water bodies in the county in recent days as a way to try to mitigate any flooding that does take place. Now, President Biden has approved an emergency declaration for the Sunshine State. It will allow Homeland Security and FEMA to coordinate disaster relief efforts. As of yesterday, Governor Ron DeSantis expanded the number of counties under a state of emergency from 41 to 61. All right, with Hurricane Helene eyeing Florida's Big Bend region, it is too late to purchase or make any changes to your insurance policies. But Citizens Property Insurance CEO Tim Serio promises current policyholders they are ready for Helene with an aggressive response.
Contracted call center vendors have been placed on alert, and resources have been ramped up to ensure we are able to meet the immediate needs of our consumers.
He adds all contracted independent adjuster firms have been put on notice, and their consumer response center volunteers are on standby to deploy. Nearly 2,800 claims were submitted for Hurricane Debbie last month, which wasn't even considered a major hurricane. Because much of the damage, though, was flood-related with that storm, Serio anticipates a higher denial rate than normal, and that's because flood damage is only covered by flood insurance. Oh, you hate saying those words. All right. Duke Energy Florida is preparing for possible, most likely power outages ahead of Helene. Have you guys started seeing utility companies from other states?
I haven't seen them, no.
I saw Pike earlier today. Pike is who put my power back on out of Georgia after Hurricane Charlie.
Okay.
23 years ago. Yeah, so love those Pike crews. Utility company says 8,000 workers are ready to respond, with each one being strategically placed along the outside of the storm's projected path. Now, additional crews are coming from Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana, as well as South Florida.
So wait a minute here. 20 years ago, Hurricane Charlie comes through. You lose power.
Yeah.
They have all these power workers come to state, and Pike just happened to be the utility worker in your area when your power comes back on. You have loyalty to them. How do you feel about the power company that makes sure you have power every minute of the day, every day of the week?
I love those guys, but you know what? When someone is willing to leave their house, leave their state, especially when you look at all the crap utility crews got in New York after they responded to Superstorm Sandy. I mean, you had a utility worker that was literally killed by someone because he was so angry his power hadn't been turned on yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They're not used to long power outages.
No, they're not. They're not. So I really appreciate when folks come to this state because they're going to be dealing with the same, situation we are. No power. That means no AC. That means long days.
You appreciate it more because you're not paying them every month.
No,
right? You're paying a different company.
I just appreciate it when you see those power crews rolling through and AC's coming, baby.
Do you see the smile on their faces, though? They get paid a lot more than staying at home for being deployed.
Yeah, they
per
do.
Diem and more salary, more overtime.
They do, absolutely. They're making their money, but they're definitely earning it.
Yeah.
They're definitely earning it. So we're also heading to the Sunshine State to assist. Now, about 18,000 utility workers are in position to help with restoration efforts statewide. We had talked about this a little bit yesterday during You Heard It Here First, but Helene is disrupting plans on the Space Coast. NASA announced yesterday it's postponing tomorrow's joint SpaceX launch of the Crew 9 mission. The new launch time is Saturday at 1:17 p.m. at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. 3 NASA astronauts and a Russian cosmonaut will board a Dragon spacecraft to the International Space Station, and this is supposed to be Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams' ride home, even though it's not coming back till February. All right. Public schools across Central Florida planning to close tomorrow in preparation for Hurricane Helene. A majority of school district officials say they'll discuss whether to keep campuses shut down on Friday after evaluating the impacts of Helene. At the moment, Polk and Sumter counties are the only school systems in our area who've already decided to remain closed both on Thursday and Friday. Now, the National Weather Service in Melbourne says Central Florida is under a tropical storm warning now, with strong winds to start developing tomorrow morning. But we'll get a tighter idea of what that schedule means when we talk to a meteorologist over at Fox 35, and that'll be coming up in about 15 to 20 minutes at 3:45. All right, last story about the storm is that Walt Disney World is keeping a close eye on Helene. The company posted an update on its website earlier this morning saying it's going to monitor the path of the storm as officials continue to prioritize the safety of guests and cast members. Disney's theme parks are currently operating as normal, as are Universal Studios and SeaWorld. Busch Gardens will be closed both Thursday and I believe on Friday as well. Veterinarians are going to stay, though, to keep an eye on the animals. Most of the water parks in our area, Typhoon Lagoon, Volcano Bay, those will be closed tomorrow. Theme parks at the moment are still planning to operate as normal. Now, under company policies for Disney, guests are only allowed to make changes to their hotel reservations without any fees if a hurricane warning is issued for the Orlando area. But again, as of right now, the National Weather Service says we have a tropical storm warning in effect for Central Florida. So
only Disney could issue that warning.
exactly.
So, I don't think you're going to be able to get away from it.
But, it's funny, the first time, and I can't remember if it was the only time, but the first time I remember hearing about Walt Disney World closing because of a hurricane, I was in England listening on the radio going, oh, no.
That's when you know it's bad.
Because they never closed.
Never.
Since 1971, when they first opened their doors, they never closed. So when you hear that they're closing, you're like, oh, now it's serious.
Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. All right, speaking of Disney, this is interesting. A legal fight with Disney could be costly, and I do mean costly, for Orange County.
Yeah, what's the deets on this one?
So a judge on Monday ruled that Disney was overcharged for the taxes it paid in 2015 and 16 at its Yacht and Beach Club. That's near Epcot. Now, county tax collector Scott Randolph says Orange County Public Schools may have to pay back at least $2 million.
The public school system?
Again, the public school system.
Why is
Why
that?
them?
I have no idea, but it gets worse. Because he warns, though, the amount could grow to as much as $80 million.
I'm sorry, what?
$80 million if the ruling covers all of Disney's other resorts, too. So Randolph also tells the Orlando Sentinel other hotels could follow Disney's lead and sue over their tax bills as well.
I don't understand. So the tax money goes to the public system?
Like,
I
is
guess
it a direct tax for the schools?
I guess it goes to the schools, and so if they're if they're left holding the bag, if these resorts were all overcharged for their taxes, think of how many hotels are just on Disney property.
Yeah, but it's like, so you pay your taxes, it goes into a fund, and then all government, systems are funded through our taxes, right? So I'm curious if this tax is specifically a tourist tax for education or something. Like, why are they targeting schools to pay it back?
And why Orange County? This isn't even the closest county to those hotels.
I believe it is. It's on It's on Orange County property.
Because it splits between Orange and Osceola, right? Part of the property is
maybe that's
Osceola.
why it's the resorts.
Exactly.
The two resorts.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows how it's connected to Orange County Public Schools and why they, of all entities, why can't we get, Visit Orlando to pay it? They have more money than the schools anyway.
We could just close all the schools and go work at Disney.
Skip that education. Get a minimum wage job.
Yep.
All right. Federal prosecutors have formally charged 58-year-old Ryan Ruth with the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. Ruth was arrested after fleeing Trump's West Palm Beach golf course on September 15th. Attorney General Merrick Garland seemed to insinuate that the serious charge was coming.
Our prosecutors and agents have been working around the clock to discover the necessary evidence to ensure accountability.
Now, it could get Ruth life in prison, but it's not the only new charge against him. He's also charged with possession of a firearm and furtherance of a violent crime, as well as assaulting a federal officer. And that's for allegedly having a rifle pointing at a Secret Service agent at Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach. Ruth will be arraigned on Monday, and the case has been assigned to a name you will recognize, U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon, who dismissed a separate criminal case charging Trump with illegally possessing classified documents. A couple of feel-good stories. An Orange County employee is being recognized for a true act of courage and outstanding citizenship. Someone buy this guy a beer. County officials announced yesterday that Corrections Officer Timothy Williams was honored as Florida Missing Children's Day Citizen of the Year by FDLE. What's cool is Williams is credited with preventing the kidnapping of a young girl in Polk County last year, but it wasn't even as part of his job. A man was trying to kidnap the 11-year-old from her school bus stop, while Williams was also at the bus stop, but he was there as a parent.
Oh, okay.
He's picking up his kid when he notices this guy trying to snatch this 11-year-old girl from the same bus stop. Now, when Williams stepped in, the man fled, but Williams chased him and then contained him until Polk County deputies arrived. The county corrections chief says if it wasn't for Williams's bravery and swift intervention, that little girl would have become the victim of a crime.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
So kudos to, exactly.
I'll buy him the beer.
Buy him the beer, absolutely. A Dos Equis and a bourbon.
There you go.
Bourbon chaser. All right, that's not the only honor being bestowed here in Central Florida. The Orlando Magic will honor one of its co-founders who passed away earlier this summer. The team says players will wear a black stripe patch on the left side of their jerseys with the initials PW for Pat Williams. The special jerseys will be worn during the upcoming season. Williams, who was known as the godfather of Orlando basketball, died in July at the age of 84. He spent more than 50 years in the NBA, including 3 decades with the Magic, and of course credited as part of the team that brought the Magic to Orlando to begin with.
That is a guy who is pretty well liked, and you can tell after his passing how many people came out, just with positive things to say about him and the impact he had on our community.
Yeah, from community members to former Magic players to former Magic coaches.
Couple dozen kids.
A lot of kids. Yeah, exactly. A lot of philanthropy here in Central Florida that went beyond just the basketball court.
Absolutely.
All right, have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet?
Yes.
You have. What about you, Jack?
No.
Guess I was like...
I paid $30 per person to see that movie. So it was like 4D, the chairs that move around. Remember I told you guys I was going to go watch it?
That's right. Yeah, you had your popcorn and everything.
It was great.
Well, the Marvel blockbuster will also be out in 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and DVD on October 22nd. But Inside Out 2, you won't have to wait for that. It is available to stream on Disney Plus today. The highest grossing movie in 2024 follows the 5 emotions from the first Inside Out, voiced by stars including Amy Poehler and Tony Hale, but it also introduces anxiety, embarrassment, envy, and ennui, adding actors including Ayo Adebiri and Maya Hawke. The Pixar film originally released on June 14th. Have you seen this one yet?
I haven't watched this one, no.
It is the highest
first one was
grossing.
very nice.
It was really good.
This one I saw.
This one he saw.
I even had to look up what ennui was.
What is it, by the way?
On weed?
No. Yes.
Is that what you said? I mean, that is an emotion too, I guess. But
ennui is an emotion.
No, this is ENNUI, and it's pronounced ennui.
Oh, never heard of that.
Yeah, it's more like it's just not caring one way or another. Just this, whatever.
Why don't they just say eh? Yeah, we all understand what
ennui.
Ennui.
So it's pretty much the same emotions. Like I don't care one way or another.
It could be ennui. It could be ennuied. Either way, you're like, meh. Pass me the Funyuns.
Yeah.
And then Dos Equis. But what's interesting is that this movie, Inside Out 2, is their biggest blockbuster ever for Pixar. More than A Bug's Life, Toy Story, all of those movies. Inside Out 2 was the gangbuster one. I was pretty surprised.
It's what everybody's mental health, everything that's going on. You really never had an experience with an ant.
Right, exactly.
But everybody has been a teenager going through something. So I guess that helps the sales.
I appreciate your wisdom, Alejandro.
But he's so right.
He is.
Also because they added the character of anxiety.
Right.
And we see these recognizing higher levels of anxiety in kids. And so I think that connection there, people will be like, yes, that's me.
They're
my
talking
kid.
about me. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
By the way, I know our streaming video took a crash. I don't know if it has to do with the weather or what. But
bummer.
No, it's coming back. So
damn it.
Sign on again.
Do I?
Yes.
I'll do that later. Right now, either way, you now are officially woke. We're going to take a little break, but we'll be back, hopefully, with a meteorologist joining us from WOFL Fox 35 to give us the latest on Hurricane Helene. Either way, keep it here on the Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s. Classic alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
What's up, everybody? Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergen here. We are looking at Hurricane Helene's impact to Central Florida. Scattered showers and storms on Thursday. It won't rain the entire day. From those storms, especially in the afternoon and evening, a chance for a few tornadoes. The ambient wind will gust at times over 55 miles an hour. Thursday afternoon and evening.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
If you ask anybody who's experienced LASIK surgery, they're going to tell you it is the best thing they ever did, ever. But they will offer this. They will tell you probably that they probably should have done a lot sooner than they did. That is the exact thing my father-in-law said. Should have done it way sooner. What are you waiting for? The Filatowski Eye Institute is offering free LASIK consultations. And all you have to do to book your appointment is text 1041 to 868686 and start your journey to better vision with the Filatowski Eye Institute. These guys have all of the experience you could possibly need. One of the oldest players in the game out here. 65,000 LASIK procedures using the best state-of-the-art technology, getting you the best results. And if finances is a concern, do not stress out. These guys have 24-month interest-free financing waiting on you right now. If you ever wondered how great your eyesight could be and how much better your life could be, simply text 1041 to 868686 and schedule your free LASIK consultation at the Filatowski Eye Institute. Your path to better vision begins right now.
I never thought much about final expenses until my dad passed away last year. The costs were overwhelming, and it was a tough time for our family. That's when I decided to take control of my own final expense planning. But with my busy schedule, I needed something simple and quick. Then I found the Smart Bunny Insurance app. In just minutes, I secured a final expense insurance policy that fits my needs and budget. No lengthy paperwork, no hassle. Just peace of mind right at my fingertips. I'm relieved knowing my loved ones won't have to worry about the financial burden. If you're looking for an easy way to protect your family's future, I highly recommend the Smart Bunny Insurance app. It's fast, convenient, and the best part is you can get coverage up to $25,000 with policies starting as low as $14 per month. Download the Smart Bunny Insurance app today and take the first step towards your peace of mind.
Insurance sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services, Inc. Underwritten by various insurers. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
I'm Olivia. When I was injured in a car crash, I knew from listening to this station who I needed to call. I called attorney Glenn Klossman. I knew I had a super lawyer on my side. I was extremely happy with the results. I'm Olivia, and I highly recommend attorney Glenn Klossman, Office Winter Park.
I'm Carrie Champion, and this is Season 4 of Naked Sports. Up first, I explore the making of a rivalry. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese.
Every great player needs a foil.
People are talking about women's basketball just because of one single game. I just come here to play basketball every single day.
Clark and Reese have changed the way we consume women's sports. Listen to The Making of a Rivalry, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search The Making of a Rivalry, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, and start listening.
Boost Mobile built America's newest 5G network and made it easier than ever to switch. And when you do, you can get a free Galaxy A25 5G. Need to hook up the whole family?
Wassey's Meat Market has hand-cut, never frozen, quality meats. And they've been right here in Melbourne for over 30 years. Choose choice and prime domestic Wagyu, Australian Wagyu, and A5 Japanese Wagyu beef. Wassey's also has sides, appetizers, pies. Did I mention that everything is homemade, which will make your meal even more special? Stop by Wassey's Meat Market from 9 to 6 and Sundays from 10 to 4 at 830 North Wickham Road, right there in Melbourne. That's Wassey's Meat Market.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations, like the Beatles Now and Then. Just search Beatles and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-522-5700. 800-522-5700.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman Lind. I bought a pair of Jordan 5s off eBay. They went through the authentication process. When they got here, something was wrong with them. I put them on and they immediately self-destructed. I contacted eBay. They said they weren't responsible. I filed multiple emails, photos, complaints. I didn't stop till I won. That's what I did for a pair of tennis shoes. Imagine what I would do for you. contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333, offices Orlando.
Hey everybody, this is Josh and Chuck from the Stuff You Should Know podcast. And if you've ever wanted to know about champagne, Satanism, the Stonewall Uprising.
Oh, how about chaos theory, El Nino, LSD, little true crime sprinkled in, or maybe something historical like Rosa Parks.
Yeah, if you want any of that or anything else you can think of, then look no further. We have you covered.
That's right. Listen to the Stuff You Should Know podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff You Should Know and start listening.
This is the Jim Colbert Show on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube, and right here on Real Radio 104.1.
What up, guys? Sport from
Duval.
Talking about the hurricane and the power guys. I have a route I do every day from Jacksonville to Daytona. I do it twice a day. And this afternoon, I saw about 5 or 6 power trucks outside of Jacksonville, and the side said AEP. So when I stopped, I looked it up. It was freaking Ohio. God bless these guys, man. By the way, Deb, you do a fantastic job hosting, honey.
Yeah, honey. Thank you so much, honey. I appreciate that. I really, really do. I really do appreciate that. It's not exactly muscle memory for me, and especially when we're dealing with severe weather.
Yeah.
It's all that, much more important.
Severe weather is a little easier. All we do is we call experts, and we have them, and then we ask them the questions because we don't know.
And we don't know. We don't know. But welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. Thank you so much for spending part of your Wednesday with us. We hope to have the Jim part back on Friday, weather permitting. You've got myself, Jack, our special guest co-host today, Alejandro.
Yes, we do.
We'll have him read the phone book for you in the 5 o'clock hour. Now, please join me in welcoming back Fox 35 meteorologist Laurel Blanchard.
Speaking of experts.
An expert. Good. How are you, Laurel? Thank you again so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Happy to be here, hitting the ground running. I don't know if everyone knows, but now this is basically our Super Bowl. We are here, ready to go. We're with you to really bring out how intense this storm is going to be throughout the next couple of days. And we are going to be doing 12-hour shifts from now until this storm is out of here. So we are ready to stick with you guys until this storm really starts to push out.
Well, listen, I just know I feel a little bit more hope because yesterday we had your newest meteorologist, TJ Springer, join us with
Isn't he great?
He is, with a very dapper bow tie and pocket square. And then today you look gorgeous with your blue dress, your lipstick, and your hair done. So something tells me maybe it's not going to be that bad.
We are going to, we have a really great team. But with that, I do think this storm is going to be a doozy for sure. Definitely a next level up than what we saw with Debbie earlier on in the season.
Yeah, let's see how they look on Friday.
I know.
Because they're not leaving. They're not leaving. Oh, Laurel, what kind of snacks do you have? Do they bring in food for you?
Okay, I stocked up on snacks yesterday evening is when I did all my storm prep. So making sure all my outdoor furniture is already starting to be put away. But I also did go grocery shopping as well. I got water. I got Pop-Tarts, of course.
Yes. Of course.
I got cookie dough on standby. So that's going to be my after 12-hour shift snack that I'm going to be really enjoying for the next couple of days. So yeah, really, with the storm prep, this is the last day for you to get everything done before the worst of the worst conditions start to roll in. So I would make sure if you have anything else to storm prep, do it tonight.
So we're seeing some bands come through. It's like I drove through some heavy rain today.
Same here.
Then it seemed clear for a little while. Then it's raining again. Are we pretty much going to expect that on and off, or is it going to be pretty much steady rain moving forward?
So right now we're seeing very light showers, heavy downpours starting to roll in, but they're very sporadic. But the clouds, unfortunately, I am already missing that beautiful weather that we had at the beginning of the work week. Now this is going to become almost the new regular for the rest of the work week and through the weekend. It's going to be cloudy. It's going to be rainy. And we're seeing those more scattered showers and thunderstorms really starting to push through now. That's unfortunately not going to be the case coming up within like the next 12 12 hours or so. Much more widespread, heavy rain, lots of wind, possibility for a couple of isolated tornadoes as well. So make sure you have a couple of ways to make sure you are up to date with all the latest weather information so you can get the latest warnings, the latest watches, to just make sure you're keeping yourself safe.
Well, I know, Laurel, that, again, because this storm is expected to hit, unfortunately, Tallahassee is going to be tested like it hasn't been in generations. A lot of folks focusing, though, on the fact that that's where the eye of the storm is heading. But from what I heard earlier during the governor's press conference is that the wind field stretches out 370 miles. So for folks right here in Central Florida who think this is just maybe going to be a bad rainstorm, it's not, right?
Oh, no. So we're going to be talking about a Category 3 strength storm, supposedly as this storm is making landfall somewhere around Tallahassee. There's still a little bit of uncertainty of where this storm could make landfall, but really we're starting to hone in a little bit more. Tallahassee is right now where that center line is, but it could shift a little bit to the east, more closer to Apalachicola area, or it could go a little bit more to the west, more by Panama City. So we're still waiting on that. Things still a little bit early for that in that case. But right now, this is holding a Category 1 storm. And just to hold that in perspective, that's about 80-mile-per-hour winds at max at the moment. Once it makes landfall as a Category 3 storm, we're talking about gusts possibly 150 miles per hour. And that's like right near the center, even back towards here, Orlando, Central Florida area, not getting the direct landfall hit. We're still going to be seeing those gusts anywhere between 55 and 65 miles per hour. So very gusty winds, lots of rain. So I think flooding, especially here, that's going to be possibly a big threat, as well as tornadoes. So what some people really don't think is that the outer bands is just rain. So that's just those little rain bands kind of just following the big rotation of this storm. But those are even sometimes extremely dangerous because we can see little bits of rotation start to happen, and that could lead to a quick EF0, EF1 tornado. And although it's only available and really picking up that pace for only about like 10 minutes, it still can lead to a good amount of damage, especially like, again, what we saw with Debbie. We saw a quick spin up, and that took out a couple of areas, especially in homes that were near a trailer park. And unfortunately, they saw a good amount of damage. And again, Debbie was a Category 1 hurricane when it made landfall. We're talking about a Category 3 this time. So this is going to be pretty dramatic for sure.
Well, Laurel, I was wondering when I noticed, let's talk pasta here, specifically the spaghetti model.
I was going to say spaghetti's my favorite personally. But...
Yeah. I like bucatini. But
I'm angel hair.
Yeah, it's all pretty tight. Usually you have a couple like going in different, directions, some totally out in left field. But this all seems to be like, nope, we're going right for the bend of Florida. There doesn't seem to be any uncertainty with the path of this storm.
The models are really starting to come together, and that's what we usually see during this time, especially about 12 hours, 24 hours. Models really start to come together, and that's, I think, what's really starting to happen now. However, if you're tuned in with us on air, you're also going to notice that we keep showing this cone of uncertainty and this path that the National Hurricane Center puts out now just every couple of hours, because this storm, I feel like, is going to pick up extremely quickly. So with that, what we're going to be seeing is this path of uncertainty. That is what I was saying a little bit earlier. Right now, there could be a little bit of shift. Right now, the center of it and where most of the models are suggesting this is going to make landfall is right by Tallahassee. But now we're just seeing that possibility that it could shift just to the east, a little bit more closer to Apalachicola, just a little bit further to the west. But most models are really starting to hone in that Tallahassee is going to be that sweet spot. That's the areas that's going to be seeing that possibility of 12-foot storm surge coming up in the next 12 hours. So make sure you're just staying weather aware and make sure you're staying with us. Of course, we'd love to have you tune in and definitely ask questions to us. That's why we're here.
Laurel, so in Orlando tomorrow, what are we expecting being this far away? Since we kind of have an idea that's the path this far out, what do we expect? And what's going to be the worst weather time of the day tomorrow for us in this area?
Because we have to be on the roads tomorrow. So I'm really worried about, we know schools are going to be closed, but if someone's office isn't closed and they still have to get into work, what's going to be the worst time to be commuting?
Wonderful question. So areas especially closer here to Orlando, tomorrow late afternoon, tomorrow evening is most likely when the worst of the weather is going to start to roll in. But personally, because I like to err a little bit more on the safe side, anywhere after noon tomorrow, so 12 o'clock tomorrow, I think things really are going to start to deteriorate very quickly. So we're going to be seeing very heavy rain start to push in, those wind gusts possibly up to 55, 65 miles per hour, and the possibility of tornadoes really going to significantly pick up as we head into about, I would say, the late afternoon, early evening hours, especially more towards the Orlando area. A little bit closer to the Atlantic side, so East Coast beaches, going to be seeing a little bit of that later standpoint, so a little bit later on in the evening. That's when the worst of the worst is going to hit them. Closer to the Gulf, especially areas across more closer to Gainesville, going to be seeing that earlier. So anytime Thursday, areas closer to more the Gainesville, up I-75 area, anytime on Thursday, it's not going to be too pretty for if you live a little bit closer to there.
And this is why we welcome the experts to come and answer the important questions for us. Laurel, once again, thank you so much for spending time with us from Fox 35. Yes, Jack.
What kind of Pop-Tarts?
Ooh, good question.
Oh, okay. So I have been on the cinnamon brown sugar kick
Yes.
lately, but I do have a stash of the strawberry in the very back of my pantry at the moment, but that's more of like the safety Pop-Tart.
So glad to see you're a health nut.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Hey, hurricane season, calories don't count.
Right on.
Okay.
There you go. Yay. Thank you, Laurel. We really appreciate it. Fox 35 meteorologist, one of 5 that make up their meteorology team that, like she said earlier, they are now going to be on the 12-hour shifts. So they're going to be with us throughout the entire length of this storm, before landfall, during landfall, and afterward. Laurel, we appreciate you and your team over at Fox 35. Thank you again so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me on, and make sure you guys are staying safe out there too, because we got you covered from when the storm starts to when it's going to end.
And we appreciate that. We really, really do. Hopefully we'll be able to check in again with yourself and someone else on your team tomorrow as we get closer to landfall. What we're going to do right now is take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to bring in Daryl Payne of Pawfection Dog Training. So if you have been having a problem with your dog, maybe a new puppy at home, and you just don't know what to do, this is what you need to do. Give us a call at 407-916-1041 or text us your question at 77031, and we'll take care of that next. So keep it here on The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
The Tampa Bay Bucks welcome the Philadelphia Eagles this Sunday. Coverage starts at noon on Real Radio 104.1 and the free iHeartRadio app. Presented by Renewal by Anderson, official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traffic is moving slowly on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area for those taking the interstate east and westbound between Osceola Parkway and 535. Traffic is moving well for the most part on the Beach Line and the Greenway this afternoon. Things are looking good east and westbound on the 408. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, every day is game day. Get an expert oil change from our team in about 15 minutes. We're quick, but never rushed. Drive into any of our locations today. No appointment needed. Visit VIOC.com for up to $15 off your next oil change.
You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable. They've hit the parlay. Let's go!
Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Tools Ace Hardware is your place for Benjamin Moore paint. They have over 3,500 Benjamin Moore paint colors to choose from. You can also bring in a sample and get a perfect color match to any color you want. Every Tools Ace Hardware has friendly and knowledgeable associates to give you expert advice on your paint project. Plus, Tools Ace Hardware has everything else you need, like brushes, drop cloths, rollers, paint trays, and more. Tools Ace Hardware has 13 convenient locations here in Central Florida, or you can shop online at acehardware.com for free in-store pickup or delivery. Tools Ace Hardware, your local helpful place.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749 or biglou.com.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine.
If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. In Office Orlando.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Every task has its tool, and so does your budget. Amscot has cash advances from $50 to $1,000 and no credit check. Flexible repayment options are available too. Amscot. Some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
You've heard of a pro tip. Here's a mo tip. After an accident, the insurance company may make you a quick offer to go away. They may also be offering you pennies on the dollar. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Yes, I've got a leaking...
To leave us a testimonial saying how happy you are with our service, press 1.
But you haven't even...
For all other inquiries, please hang up.
Wait, what?
Hang up and call Frank Gay. We're busy watching the game.
You know what? I think I will.
When you have a leak, you need solutions on your schedule. A helpful expert who can find the problem and fix it fast.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
This earful of real radio is sponsored by Sunset Walk Best of Challenge. Tickets on sale now at sunsetwalk.com.
Make no payments till 2025 during the Winning Drive sales event at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Want more from the Jim Colbert Show? Online at jimcolbertlive.com.
Hey guys, this is Nanny in Mount Dora. I just wanted to tell you I hope y'all are doing well and wish you luck during the storm, and thank you for being there for our coverage. Stay safe.
Good afternoon, Colbert Show. Great show. This is Timmy from Indy Atlantic. I'm listening from Condado Beach, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Woo-hoo. You know, it was funny years ago when that movie Day After Tomorrow came out. That's where the giant winter cyclones came by and froze everything.
Oh, yeah.
And the scientists at the time in the movie were going, look at the storm, it's 100 miles wide. Me and my wife looked at each other and just busted out laughing because we had already been starting to get 250, 300 mile wide storms. Now 370. Yikes.
Batten down the hatches, boys and girls. It's about to get real. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1. Weather permitting, we're hoping the Jim part's going to be back on Friday. Nobody's heard from him yet. Could be floating here. We're not really sure. You've got Deb Jack, our special guest co-host today, Alejandro.
Hola.
And every Wednesday at this time, we like to do a little thing called Animal House.
She likes them fuzzy, furry, feathery, tough, and scaly. It's time for Animal House with Deborah Roberts.
And Animal House is generously brought to you each and every week by personal injury attorney Glenn Klausman, also our title sponsor at our second annual Suds, Pups, and Pints. Now please join me on the fourth Wednesday of the month and welcoming back a very popular, if not our most popular guest, Daryl Payne from Pawfection Dog Training. Yay!
Let's leave it at very popular.
How you doing, Daryl?
Well, I nearly didn't come.
Oh, right, because of the weather today.
No,
right?
no, not because of the weather. No, because when I called you, when I texted you earlier and you said Alejandro was here today, I told you. I have voice and accent envy.
Not accent.
I was going to, I was going to just text the answers in.
Text the answers in.
Actually, I actually appeared on Telemundo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was really strange because I don't speak a word of Spanish.
Really? I thought the accent was Cuban like mine.
and they didn't speak a word of English. Yeah. And there was some strange Peruvian pop group there as well. And I actually, to this day, don't know what it was all about. I know it's to do with dogs, but I have no idea what I was doing on there.
Well, I'm sure it was fascinating anyway.
Yeah, I didn't get invited back.
Oh.
I barely speak English, though.
But listen, Alejandro, I know you have some stories, but you need to talk to this guy because he's been a dog handler, not just here in the States for years, but worked up a canine as well as in England, and he had his dog actually use Buckingham Palace as a place to go potty.
That's
right before the Queen of England walked out.
It wasn't just the palace; it was actually on a baby pink silk.
Oh wow!
Chaise lounge thing.
You call yourself a trainer? You should have trained him not to do that.
Well, some would.
Well, did you train him to do it?
Training to do that.
Well, real quick before we get to listeners' questions, want to remind everyone again. Daryl Payne has been training dogs for decades and decades. He and his wife, with Pawfection Dog Training here in Central Florida, have helped many people on the staff, as well as a lot of listeners who came out to Suds, Pups, and Pints. You can certainly call us at 407-916-1041 so Daryl can answer your question. You can also text it at 77031. But I did want to let you know I wanted to thank you and Penny and your entire crew that came out. How many therapy dogs did you finally have out at Suds, Pups, and Pints this past weekend?
We had 38 teams in the end.
38 therapy dogs.
A couple of them couldn't make it because they were doing the honor flight.
Right.
Coming back in from Washington, D.C., which was a late one. So we lost a couple of teams because they couldn't do both. But yeah, I think it was 38 teams there. And they had a great time. They really did. They really enjoyed themselves. There was a lot of young teams there. It was just their first time doing a big event. And they had a ball. They really did. And we, it was great fun. I've got some great ideas for next year for party games.
Okay, good.
I love it because adding that, we played a musical sit. And Penny was like, in the middle of the event, she's like, hey, we're going to do a musical sit. I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. She's like, yeah, I need you to make an announcement. Okay, that I know how to do. What do you want me to say? She just, call everybody over here.
Yeah, we've got some great party games for next year. So
yeah, that was fun.
That was a great time. That was that.
And then I handed Daryl the mic, and then I see Penny roll her eyes like, don't do that. Don't do that. And then he proceeds to make fun of people, Pet, and everyone there. It was great.
It was awesome.
It was absolutely great.
Yeah, so I'm glad to hear you guys plan to be at the third annual Suds, Pups, and Pints.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to be there. Yeah, and we're sending Scooby Ruby her prize out. 6 weeks training. So.
That's yeah. That was our winner of a musical sit.
Scooby Ruby?
Yeah, Scooby Ruby. It was a really good event. It really was. Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to announce, too, that we were able to raise a little over $7,000 for the Humane Society of Lake County, so a little bit more than we were able to raise last year. And, of course, we can't wait to do it again next year and have you be a part of it. And did you get a lot of takers on that $100 off in-home training?
We got a lot of interest. With the phones started to call. People are starting to get the idea that $100 is a fair whack off. So, and what we are
whack off.
Yeah, what we are going to do, we are going to extend that on the website. It's $100 for this next week as well. So if you didn't manage to get there, as long as you've got a really good excuse for not coming,
exactly,
then just give us a call, and it's on the website. You can still get $100 off of that in-home training.
Now, as someone who professionally trains dogs, and you're around groups of dogs that are together, I know for myself, the second year, I was really impressed that we had breeds of every kind. We had a cane corso. I have never seen a cane corso before. Google what a cane corso
Roman
looks like,
war dog.
Alejandro. It's a Roman war dog?
Roman war dog, yeah.
They are huge.
Yeah, and they're quite cowardly.
Oh, really? Well, the bigger the dog, right?
Yeah, it really is. They're very nice dogs. They're very good looking dogs.
Oh, he was so well behaved and beautiful and regal looking.
Yeah, there are all sorts of breeds. Daniel Dennis came over with his little Westie.
Yes, exactly.
So,
we had Walter, the Mastiff, who's built like a small Volkswagen.
Yeah, someone came in with his Saint Bernard who came all the way just to see us and have a chat with us. We had a lot of people actually, a lot of listeners, which I didn't realise I had more than 2 listeners actually. There were actually 3.
You and me both.
I know, but they actually came, to have a chat with us, and it was really nice to be able to talk to people one on one. Give them advice. Some people are going to take the training up because they need it. Some people got advice on the day, and that's all they need, which was nice as well.
Right.
It was a great event. It really was. Although I will say, I'm going to complain about Guinness. No draft Guinness there.
No draft Guinness.
I set myself up for that. I learnt to drink it in Ireland, and then when I got there, no draft Guinness.
We'll fix that for you
Thanks
next year,
very
Daryl. I will.
That'll be that's the proviso of me coming next year.
But that's the thing. Daryl said when he got Guinness in Ireland, it was just a different tasting, a different experience.
Absolutely.
It's the magic of the Irish, They put some sort of special stuff in that water, I think. But
do they really?
No, it was a great event. It really was.
Well, thank you for coming out and your expertise. Alejandro, what were you saying?
No, I said bring a draft keg of Guinness.
Oh, yeah, I'm on it.
Just for me, that'd be great.
Yeah.
It's on my to-do list.
So if you want advice next year, come early.
Right, exactly.
By the end of it, I won't make sense.
Well, you always do make sense. But were you impressed as well that with every shape and size and breed of dog that we never had any issues? Or is that generally your experience and people just kind of project what they think is going to happen?
I think people took the advice you were given over the radio. I think they were taking the advice not to bring problem dogs out.
Yeah.
And everyone that came to us with who had a problem dog said we left it at home. So generally, there were no fights.
None.
No, and the dogs didn't fight either. Which was good.
Exactly.
But
I almost got into a few, but the dogs were
and
great.
it was nice because our therapy dogs were there to be loved on and stuff. But I noticed everybody loving on everybody's dog.
Yes.
And there was no problem with it. It was it was great. It was a real nice family event. And if you didn't get there this year, definitely come this year.
And what I find is so interesting is more often than not, people attribute bad behavior to puppies. But really, you can have an older dog that maybe you had a relative who passed, and now you have to bring another dog into the house, and it kind of disrupts the flow of everything. And now you're seeing behavior issues.
Well, you're going to get trouble either way. Puppies are tiny terrorists. They're always going to be a problem. So you're going to have puppy problems,
right?
When you get a young puppy, which is just part of it.
It's like having a toddler.
Yeah, our puppy in home training, we call it, the survival book. And if you get a rescue dog, then you're really paying the price for what someone else hasn't done properly from the start or circumstances. So, if you've got an elderly relative who passes and leaves the dog, you can guarantee this dog has been the leader of the pack. It's overprotective because that happens all the time. It's used to sitting on everybody's lap all the time. And generally, smaller dogs tend to be very aggressive when they've been with older people because they get very protective. So whether you get a rescue dog or whether you've got a puppy coming, the in-home training will fix any problem that you've got, and everything's fixable.
And what's interesting is that going back to Suds, Pups, and Pints, Penny had told me about one of your clients actually having this situation. Father passes. She ends up bringing in one of his Yorkies. She has 2 other Yorkies. Now the balance has been disrupted. So it does happen. And she was getting ready to pay an exorbitant amount of $9,000 to try and train for 3 Yorkies.
I'll do it.
It was $9,000 for 3 dogs for 2 weeks board and training. And you know how I feel about board and train. You really should train the dog in the environment that the problems are. 9,000 she's been quoted. Penny went over there, and these dogs weren't getting on. They were fighting. That was the Friday. On the Saturday, they came to our group training all together, all 3 of them in their little bows in their hair, trotting along like little angels. They really were. So, people I don't think don't realise we can do what we can do.
Right.
It seems too good to be true. And generally in life that, if something seems too good, it really isn't. But this really is. We can do what we can do. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been here 10 years.
Right, exactly.
And you just saved them over $8,000.
Over $8,000.
No, we charged us $12,000.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm a little mad I didn't get a piece of this.
Exactly.
I could have boarded them, then I would have paid Daryl a lot less.
Yeah, I think that was like $499 that cost her instead of $9,000.
$9,000 for 3 dogs in 2 weeks, and like you said, the board training, and then they get back home, and now you have the same old issues again.
Well, and remember, you get a lifetime of support with us as well.
Exactly. So listen, if you do have a problem with it, a puppy, be it an older dog, whatever the case may be, give us a call, 407-916-1041. You can also text us your question at 77031. We're going to take a quick break, and then Daryl is going to tackle those. And don't forget those talkbacks. Jack has a box of colorful pins and a map of Florida, and he's only put Indy Atlantic on the damn thing.
No, we have a listener. I have Puerto Rico, North Carolina, Illinois. Those are the far outs. And then a lot in Lake County, Polk, Osceola, Orange, Seminole, and a lot in Brevard as well.
So if you have that free iHeartRadio app, we invite you to download it if you don't. Record a little message to us. Tell us where you're listening to us from Florida. We'd really like to hear about that, but we really want to hear your question for Daryl, and we'll do that next. So keep it on Real Radio 104.1.
Real Radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Take it out of your end.
Well, I'm already doing that. Everything is coming out my end.
Hey, yo.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Traffic is heavily backed up on I-4 this afternoon for drivers in the Orlando area who are taking the interstate east and westbound through downtown and by the major attractions exits. Looking at activity southbound on Orange Blossom Trail in Apopka, where 2 lanes are currently blocked at Central Avenue for drivers approaching Park Avenue. If you see other traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A., copyright 2024.
Listen up, peeps out there. If you have plans to sell your home for any reason out there, you got to take a few minutes and learn about the Nickley Group before you make a move. These guys are really changing the real estate game. Stress-free, innovative real estate solutions for home sellers and buyers. And do not believe the news that the market is softening. Homes in this area are selling for record prices still. And if you're considering selling your home for any reason, any at all, downsizing, relocating, maybe you just need a bigger house because your family's getting bigger, you got to contact the guys at the Nickley Group. Not only does the Nickley Group sell homes on an average for 6% more, they're going to sell them twice as fast as well. You could get your home valued instantly. You could get a guaranteed cash offer right now if you'd like, or just list your home. Do that today at thenickley.group.com. You can Google them. They 3,000 5-star reviews. They're good at what they do. And if you're longing for that next level real estate experience, which includes a lot of stuff, mortgage services, moving assistance, elite marketing, a team of experienced realtors, and much more, it is simple. It's thenickley.group.com. That's NICKLEY group.com.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we're seeing the unseeable. Using advanced imaging technology, our experts can look deeper into the human body, uncovering the smallest of details that would otherwise go unnoticed, leading to more accurate diagnoses and treatments. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
It's always a good time for donuts, so indulge in Shipley Donuts. Fresh-made donuts in delicious flavors from classic glaze to the Oreo cookie top treats, crafted with quality ingredients. Catering and online ordering is available. Visit Shipley Donuts, now open in Orlando on South Cimarron Boulevard.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Oh, hi. My air conditioner is blowing hot.
For air conditioners making a funny noise, press 1.
No, it's...
Try to listen to the whole message before making a selection.
Sorry.
For air conditioners blowing cold, but not quite cold enough, press 2.
No, it's blowing hot.
I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Well, can we speed this up?
Don't get grumpy with me, or I'll take you back to the main menu.
No, anything but that. Please don't send me back to the main menu.
Fine, but I'm watching you.
Bet if I'd called Frank Gay, I'd already be getting my problem solved.
But you didn't call Frank Gay. So, what do we do now?
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your air conditioner is blowing hot, you need a solution now. A helpful operator to guide you, all your options explained, and your problem fixed fast. That's the Frank Gay way.
If you're ready to pull your hair out, press 7.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles.
Together, you say goodbye, and I say hello.
Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits. Just open the free iHeartRadio app and search the Beatles Now and Then and listen now. iHeartRadio, free never sounded so good.
iHeartRadio.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Miss part of the show? The Jim Colbert Show on Demand. Available on the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey Jack, this is Wes from Northeast Georgia, the small town of Tiger. I was curious if Daryl is going to be able to help Dan with his problems with his little dog. I know that he talked with him on Saturday and Dan seems kind of nervous that he's the problem. I was just curious on his thoughts. Thanks, have a great day.
Good afternoon, Colbert crew. Good afternoon, Miss Deborah. Got a funny story for the dog guy.
All right.
I have a border collie, and there's a full-grown poodle in the neighborhood. My border collie and the poodle don't growl, don't bark. They just stare at each other. And I think they're trying to figure out who the smarter one is. By the way, forgot to say, ran out of time. This is B. I'm out here in Port Canaveral, land of the cruise ships and peacocks, telling the story about the border collie and the poodle.
Well, thank you there from Port Canaveral. What do you think, Daryl?
Well,
Yep, you're good.
Yeah, I'm on. The border is definitely the more intelligent of the two. The poodle comes in second.
Oh, really?
Yeah, without a doubt. And the border collies, they don't nip sheep when they're rounding up sheep. They don't nip them; they stare at them.
Really?
Yeah, they intimidate them. So when they come down, they intimidate the sheep, and that's how they get them to move. They don't. A lot of people think they nip them in order to get them to move. They don't. If
it looks like they're biting their heels.
Yeah,
They just give them a look?
Yeah, they do. They just intimidate them. It's a bit like Penny, really. Just a look. That's all it needs. And you move.
Yeah, exactly.
Really fast.
Exactly. My grandmother, my mother, myself, all trained in the look.
And I did speak to Daniel, and yeah, he understands he is the problem.
Does he really?
Which his wife actually concurred. Yeah, absolutely. No, well, I'm gonna pop over to his house, sort his dog out, and then he's coming to the group training with that little dog, and it's a really sweet little dog.
What would you say the percentage of dog problems are the owner? 90%?
95?
I wouldn't say no. It wasn't not that high because there's a lot of. Well, if you said the human is the problem, then 95.
Okay, human.
Yeah, because the owner, some people take dogs on and another human's created the problem. But there's two reasons dogs misbehave, and that is either boredom, where we're not doing enough with them or for them, and leadership, where we give them the wrong impression by treating them like humans. They think they need to take over the job of boss of the house. So really that's the two ways. So, when we do the in-home training, we tackle both those things. And if you tackle both those things, you get a good dog.
Well, and you always say that you train the humans first, the dogs second.
Yeah, if you look at our cars, it says we train both ends of the leash. It's just one end needs more training than the other.
Well, listen, I did want to ask, we got a couple of questions on the texting service at 77031. Now that you and I are both cat people, right, Daryl?
Yeah.
Someone texted and wanted to know if there's any real way to train dogs not to attack cats.
Yeah, there is.
Is there?
Yeah. Ideally, in the ideal world, if you get a puppy at the same time as you have a cat, then the dog will grow up respecting the cat, because cats will normally run the roost. They will normally, because they're built to fight, they're much faster, they're more agile, and they're mean.
They are.
So most dogs will back off from cats.
All you have to do is watch Instagram reels where the cat will not let the dog come up the stairs.
Yeah. So every now and then, though, you're going to get a dog with a high prey drive or something that is, very prone towards trying to kill the cat. If that's the case, yes, we can fix that. I'll tell you what we normally use. We don't use shock collars. We use a vibrate collar. And what happens is when the dog collar when
that too
when the dog looks at the cat, we vibrate the collar, and the dog thinks that the cat's got magical powers and leaves it alone. So there's
everybody feels that way with that collar.
So we can stop that, and if that didn't work, then call us. We'll come over and we'll fix it.
Now, do you find that it's more of an issue if you have two dogs in the house? Because I noticed that kind of, if that pack mentality kind of thing takes over.
It can do.
It can. So is it better if it's one-on-one?
Well, it can be more problematic if you've got more than one dog. In my experience, though, normally if they've got a couple of dogs, one dog's chasing the cat, the other one isn't.
Okay.
More relevant is the cat itself. If you've got a cat that will stand up for itself, so if you've got a big ginger Tom that, lived in the streets of New York or something, carries a knife.
It's going to mess you up, man.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Then generally you don't have a problem. But if you've got a cat that is very, very afraid and runs, that triggers the chase drive in the dog, and that makes everything worse. Especially if you've got a dog with any terrier with a high prey drive.
I was going to say, what are those breeds that if you were thinking about bringing a cat into the house, you might want to think second? So you've got any terrier breeds, right? Any of your ratters?
Anything with the word terrier in it is going to have a high chase drive.
That's what they're bred for.
Yeah, exactly. They can't help themselves.
Right, exactly. I mean,
but if you do everything right from the start, or you get help from the start, then you can stop it and everyone can live happily together. What you don't want to do is just separate out and then just keep the animals separate forever, because when they do end up getting together by mistake, then bad things are going to happen.
All right.
So, it is get in early. If you've got a rescue, get help early. If you've got a puppy, socialize the puppy early, with the cat. And they can live really well. All my dogs have lived with cats. No problem at all.
That's always been my hope but for me, I have, my favorite breed is a male golden retriever, and they're pretty much love covered in long hair anyway.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So I know Jack is getting ready to take a call. We do welcome your phone calls at 407-916-1041. But while he's doing that, Daryl, one more question off the texting service. Text your question at 77031 for Daryl Payne from Pawfection Dog Training. Hi, we rescued a dog 2 years ago from a shelter. The vet said he looks like a black-mouthed cur, and at that time was about 18 months old when he was neutered. Overall, a decent dog, except that he likes to pee in the house, especially when he seems annoyed with us. If I leave for the day, he'll pee in 3 to 4 different places. How can we break that?
Yeah, dominance and leadership, that is. He was neutered a little late. So if he was neutered at 18 months old, that is a little late. We tend to suggest sort of 6 months is probably a better time.
Really?
Or as soon as certainly before a year, but certainly when they start to show signs of dominance, if they're lifting their leg, starting to hump things like that, that's the time to get a dog neutered. So 18 months is a little late, so they're in the habit of marking. But from what you're saying, or what they're saying about the fact when they leave, it's a protest thing, and they're punishing the owners. The reason the dog's doing that is because it thinks it's the boss and thinks he can get away with it. So there's no respect for the owners there. So remember, this is a symptom of a different cause. The cause is leadership. The symptom is the playing up. Yeah. So if you fix the leadership, you fix everything else as well. There's probably other things as well. I would imagine maybe barking at the door, jumping on people when they come in. All those kind of things tend to come together with leadership issues. So if you fix the leadership, you fix the problem. So, because there's no way of just fixing the P on its own, because it's not the problem.
Okay, 407-456-1066. That's how to get a hold of you guys. Jack, I know we have a caller.
We have a couple. First, Luke.
Hey, Luke, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's your question for Daryl?
Well, about 3 months ago, we rescued a little Chihuahua, and it's the most loving dog. I've had dogs before, and I had a Shiba Inu, so I'm not real used to the small dog. The dog is amazing. She's taken to us. She feels at home now at 3 months, but the barking, and I know Chihuahuas are barkers. How in the world can we get her to, when she starts barking, how do we get her to stop instantly or after a few barks? Like when I walk in the house, she just barks and barks and barks. I know she's excited to see me, but the barking is.
After a while, you're like, shut up.
Really.
I love you, but
let me put my stuff down and then come and see you. But it's
exactly.
They are little barkers, and naturally they come with an overdeveloped sense of barking.
That was a nice way of putting it.
So when you come home, obviously she's excited, she's barking. If there's somebody walking past, she's barking for a different reason. She's barking because she's protecting the house, because although she's tiny, she thinks she's a lion and needs to protect everybody. If someone comes in the house, she's probably barking at them as well. So they do bark about everything. Switching the barking off requires us to find a correction which is not physical or painful in any way to her, but represents a consequence to that. And it really depends on her as to what that consequence needs to be. Some people, use various things. Some people will use water. I'm not a big fan of that because it wets the floor.
Right. And pennies in the can.
You've got to hit the dog. Yeah, some people use pennies in the can. There's a lot of things that have their limitations.
Right. The dog goes, oh, those are pennies in the can.
We do all. So some dogs will defeat that, but we've got methods that dogs won't defeat. And with all these things, this is where the training sometimes needs to be bespoke, because with some dogs, if you use some methods, like if you shake pennies in a jar at some dogs, they'll attack you because they see that as a threat or see you as a threat. So we have to find a consequence that she doesn't like, which doesn't make you a scary person, doesn't promote an attack on you, but is nevertheless effective, so that when she starts to bark, then the consequence happens and she stops. And then it's a case of practice. So it really is a case of identifying what would be good for her. And it's something we fix in, it's a 2-hour session, but as we discussed just now, an hour and a half of that's probably going to be for you.
Right.
So we fix it very quickly. So if you want to give us a call, we can come over and fix that barking and make life so much easier for you.
And hey, Luke, don't forget, and for everybody else who's calling and asking in for questions, Daryl had mentioned this earlier. If you weren't able to make it out to the second annual Suds, Pups, and Pints this past weekend, where you got your $100 off in-home training voucher, you can still get that at pawfectiondogtraining.com. So if you're thinking about, and you obviously want to hire Daryl and Penny to come help with your Chihuahua or whatever, make sure you stop at their website first and print off that voucher so you can get $100 off on that in-home training. Jack, who do we have next?
Now, what's interesting about Danny's call is, Daryl, you say 10 years you've been coming to this station doing this?
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had this problem.
Oh, wow.
Here's Danny.
Danny, welcome to the show. What's your question for Daryl?
Hey guys, how you doing? My dog has fallen out of love with me. I've had him for 4 years now. I got him at the shelter when he was 7 months. He's 4 years old now, and he only comes near me when I have food. If he's lying on the bed and I go to lie next to him on the bed, he actually jumps off the bed and goes into his crate.
What dog is he, Danny?
Sitting on the sofa. What's that?
What breed is he?
He's a terrier mix. He's some kind of terrier mix. If I'm sitting on the sofa and I call him over, he won't come to me. He never comes to me when I call him.
When did this
He's
start?
only started doing that in the past 6 months.
Right. So what's happened? He's grown up. 4 is really the age that dogs grow up. That's when they become real proper adults. And sometimes when they get to that point, they think they don't need us anymore, depending on his personality, because not all dogs are the same. In a litter, you couldn't have all dogs that were hunters, all dogs that were protectors, all dogs that were the alpha or the more submissive, because the pack wouldn't work. So depending on the dog itself will depend on what the base material is. Now, if he's grown up and he's got to 4 years old and he's decided he's a little more independent, then that's just his personality. But it's not something you can't deal with. What you need to do is...
I can't deal with it because I live alone. It's just me and the dog. I need his affection, and I don't get any affection from him.
No, that's right. No, what I'm saying is we can bring this back for you. Don't worry. So what we can do is have more interaction with the dog. We can teach you games to play with the dog that will... Because he's obviously treat motivated because he'll come for a treat. But games to play with him which put you in control. And you little search games for a treat or something like that.
Belly rub.
More interaction with him.
I do all that, and he leaves me.
What about a pork chop necklace?
Right.
Also,
I'm doing that tonight.
The other thing is the leadership issue. We want to make sure that you're in charge, because if he thinks that he's in charge, they get very aloof. The alpha dog, if he is more of a dominant dog, the alpha dog will demonstrate that by being very aloof with the other dogs. They ignore the other dogs. It's almost like you're an irritation, leave me alone.
Right.
Or I'll stroke you when I'm ready to be stroked. But other than that,
quiet, Alejandro.
Then back up. So if he's a dog that has more of a leadership issue, then what you're going to find is he's going to be more aloof with you, and he's kind of running the show and calling the shots. He'll come to you when he wants to, when he's good and ready.
Right.
But if he doesn't want to, he's not going to. So
we're going to change it, Danny.
We might have to step up that
leadership. We're
going to
change it, Danny,
and see how. What we look at when we come over to the house is we look at the dynamics of the pack. We look at how you interact with the dog, how it interacts with you, the home circumstances. Everything comes into play so that we can put things right that have gone wrong, and specific to that, the nature of that dog itself.
So call him, Danny. We'll give you the information, and don't forget.
I'm definitely gonna call because it's so bad. I was even considering giving him up because I get nothing out of him.
No, don't do that.
You can also try our group training. So come down, do some obedience and agility with him, where you're having fun together and you're telling him what to do, which again establishes your leadership over him, because he has to do what you tell him to do when you tell him to do it, as opposed to at the moment you call him, he doesn't want to come. He's got free will to stay away or to walk away. So with the obedience and the agility together, then you're doing something together and building that bond. I think maybe we need to build the bond a little.
Yeah, he needs a pup cut from Starbucks,
You got
Danny.
to break them down, then we build
my parents tell me maybe he has a hearing problem. I say no, he can hear me open a pack of cheese just fine.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, no, he's got a dominance problem. That's what he's got.
Yeah, thank you, Danny. You'll be able to fix that. But Daryl, do you find that happens? I remember, I believe it was, he may have turned 4. My mom's first Shih Tzu, when he turned 4, and all of a sudden didn't play with the toys as much anymore. And
yeah, they grow up. My police dog, when he got to 4, if I could have told him to drive the police car, I wouldn't have had to go to work. He did everything himself.
But do you find it's hard for owners when that sense of growing up and that needing you and kind of like puppy
especially
stuff
if they have had
there?
it from a puppy, because the dog is very dependent on you and everything else, and then they do grow up and get
it feels
a
like
little
you
more
got a teenager at home.
Well, the other thing is that sometimes we get used to having the dog.
Right.
And we don't interact with them as much as perhaps we did once before.
It's like marriage.
Yeah. and then there's consequences to that.
4 years
like
is
marriage.
4 years is a long relationship. I was going to say, Danny, that's it. Find a replacement.
Got a texter. Dora texts in. They have a 3-year-old Dachshund that she chases, barks at other people and animals, never bit anyone, but is a concern. Her personality shifts quickly and she goes crazy. Do I need to socialize her more?
Yes, you do, yes, but it's a kind of catch-22 because the more you put her in positions where she's likely to do that, the more likely she is to do it. So there's a part missing there. You need to be able to correct the behaviour when it happens, and correct early. So as soon as the body language changes, that's the point we would correct. If you don't have the correction, then you're just going to make the problem worse because all you're doing is you're putting victims in front of her to chase and bark at. So as long as we can find a way of correcting the behaviour very early on before the barking starts. When the barking and the chasing starts, the adrenaline's flowing.
Right.
Now, once the adrenaline flows, there's less listening and sometimes no listening. So getting in early with the body language with a correction is the most important part. And that's essential for this because you need to teach her not to do it, not just to encourage her to do it.
Final question.
Oh, you're going to do this. Go for it.
Never mind.
No, do it.
Go ahead.
Are you going to go for it?
Nope.
All right. What do I do about the aggression, fighting, destruction of property, and really bad odor? Wait, I don't have dogs. I'm just talking about the middle school students I teach every day.
I was about to say get divorced.
No! You don't think that would be the case? So again, perfectiondogtraining.com.
Perfectiondogtraining.com. You can call us on 407-456-1066. Remember that $100 off is on the website there. Just when you call that number, Penny will answer. Just tell her you've seen that on there. We've got 2 new programs coming up in October for you. One is Pup Meets the World. So if you've got a pup under 6 months, we're taking groups of puppies out into the world, 4 locations, one each week: Lake Mary, Sanford, Mount Dora, and Altamont. And it's about environmentally socializing your puppy to sight, sounds, smells, and everything in their world to build their confidence. The other one is our Urban Agility, which starts on the 14th of October, and that is taking a group of dogs out to do obedience in the streets in real life, and we use the street furniture as obstacles to jump over and negotiate and climb over and through. It's real life training for life in the real world.
And can people approach you when they see puppies coming through their neighborhood?
Absolutely. Well, that'd be perfect. Actually, if you see our puppies out, because there'll be a group of about 12 of them, if you see our puppies, come over and say hi, because part of that socialization is meeting people, as well as, we're going to be taking them to the fire station, to police stations. We're taking them everywhere. We're taking them on the boats in Mount Dora. We take them to the airport at Sanford. So all things that your pup wouldn't see otherwise.
Well, excellent. As always, put your hands together and thank Daryl Payne from Perfection Dog Training. Thank you so much, Daryl. Really appreciate it. Appreciate your support again for Suds, Pups, and Pints. Looking forward to having you out again next year. I'll be posting the Animal House podcast in the next minute or two in case you missed any of this information. But as always, Animal House is brought to you by personal injury attorney Glenn Klausman of Klausman Law. If you've been in a car, truck, motorcycle accident, even a slip and fall, a couple of reasons why you need to call Glenn. One, he never passes you off to a caseworker. Glenn is going to personally handle your case, so much so he's going to give you his cell phone number and then pick it up when you call. A couple of reasons why year after year he's voted super lawyer and legal elite. He's also an animal lover and a true friend of the show. Again, any accident, give him a call, 407-917-1718, or check him out online at klausmanlaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN law.com. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more on The Jim Colbert Show, so keep it on Real Radio 104.1.
You text us at 77031 and we say it on the air. Sometimes we might even give you credit. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
What's going on, Central Florida? Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergen here. We're looking at Hurricane Helene's impact to Central Florida. Very large storm, which is why we're still going to feel tropical storm force winds even being far from the center. 55 or higher mile-an-hour gusts all of Central Florida Thursday afternoon and evening. A couple of tornadoes are possible as well. The peak of the storm is Thursday afternoon, evening in the early part of the night. And a major hurricane will strike up in the Big Bend late Thursday evening.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Guys, time to get ready for the 4th annual Taste of Space Fall Bite, September 30th all the way through November 3rd. Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, serving up an array of spectacular food and sweet treats that'll send your taste buds out of this world. Everything from harvest bowls to cranberry brie moon puffs and more. It is also the home of the Mars Teeny Shake-Off. That's October 4th. That's when local bars and restaurants craft their own version of the Mars Teeny, and you'll have a chance to sample that while mingling with astronauts. But on top of that, they have the Mars Teeny Shake-Off. That's October 4th. Now, that's a special ticketed after-hours event where they create their own craft martinis. You come in, check them out, enjoy yourself, get all your tickets and all the information. These events are awesome, by the way. It's KennedySpaceCenter.com.
So you want to be my client? You think you deserve fair compensation for your injuries? Well, you got to call me. Can't just keep listening forever. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
Columbus Day weekend, visit Cocoa Beach on the Space Coast and support the National Kidney Foundation's 39th Annual Surf Fest, featuring hundreds of competitive surfers in pro and amateur divisions. Live entertainment and fun for the entire family. For more information, visit nkfsurf.com.
Guys, are you tired of being tired? Frustrated because it seems impossible to lose belly fat? If you're looking for a solution, then listen to Mark.
I had fantastic results with the Andro 400 Max. Probably lost 35 pounds, and more impressive than that was the inches I lost off of my belly and my waist. And the increased energy is fantastic. I'll be totally honest, I tried a different product, and I wasn't happy with the different product. You guys are considerably cheaper than the other brand, and I can really feel the difference.
Andro 400 Max, the extra strength, all natural testosterone booster. The safe, easy, and affordable way to gain energy and lose stubborn belly fat. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Feel and look like a new man. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/radio. That's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-522-5700. 800-522-5700.
What's true in life also applies to finances. When it rains, it pours. That's why Amscott has cash advances from $50 to $1,000. Many branches open 24/7. Amscott. Some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment changeouts and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
More Jim Colbert Show in 3, 2, 1.
So this is Flip of Williamsburg, Virginia, formerly of Lexington, South Carolina, formerly of Ohio. I started off listening to you guys way back in, well, not the Colbert Show, but your station back in the 90s. Love every show. You keep me entertained. Thank you for everything you do. And also, I still have family in South Carolina, and it's always awesome to hear your meteorologist come on and tell me where the storm is going. Gotta be prepared.
Hey, Jack. Vero Beach checking in.
This is Gail listening from Aurora, Colorado.
Cool.
We do not have Venezuelan gangs taking over the city.
Are you jealous? I mean, is that a rumor?
There was some videos going around.
Yeah, just like the pet eating in Springfield.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. We really do appreciate you spending time of part of it with us this afternoon. As you can hear, Jim is still off. We're hoping we're going to have him back on Friday, weather permitting. You do have Deb, Jack, and our special guest co-host today, Alejandro.
Hola.
Hola. Coming up later on in the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to talk to Orlando Sentinel columnist Scott Maxwell before we give away a pair of Halloween Horror Nights tickets, Jack. But that's not all with Halloween Horror Nights. I know it may not matter to Alejandro, but to you and I, that's just sweet. Parking pass.
No, it matters. It matters that it's free. I just didn't say I have to park that close or that far. That doesn't matter. But if it's free, it's for me.
Free is for me. There you go. I dig it.
There we go. We're going to make a bumper sticker that says that's Jack's love language. Also, after that, at 6 o'clock, we're going to be talking to Ross Padgett, Papa Padgett, because again, another episode tonight of Good Sauce with Ross and Joel. So we hope you'll join us for that. And of course, we'll keep you up to date with what's going on with Hurricane Helene and everything that's going without. I haven't seen the latest track yet. I know at 5 o'clock we're going to be getting our latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center in Miami. We know winds were last at 80 miles an hour just before a Category 2. It's still at a Category 1, but we'll get the latest update coming up at 5 o'clock. And let you know what's going to be going on. I don't know, Jack, are you making any special plans for?
Well, my plans always include being here, during a storm. So it's just making sure they have what they need at home, with it, whether it's water, flashlights that work, and starting to eating the frozen food now. So it's less to lose later if the power goes out.
Isn't that the bummer when you go to grab the batteries you've had in your hurricane pack for a while, and you're like, ooh, it's a little bit older than I thought.
Yeah.
Didn't realize they were that old.
Yeah, I already have like the frozen water basically frozen water. I think they call that ice, but
in some places around the world.
But I do it in like a gallon jug.
That's the brilliant part of it. It's doing it that way.
You do it in a gallon jug, therefore it can, be a cooler, coolant for your cooler.
Exactly.
And then when that melts, then you have a gallon of water to drink.
Yeah, I used to do that, especially during like Charlie, Francis, and Jean. Take my bottled water, put those in the freezer so that you could take some of those out, put them in the cooler, keep some of the food in your cooler cold, but then you can also keep your freezer frozen a little bit longer. Maybe put some in your fridge.
The key is to take a little water out before you freeze it, because ice expands, and usually it's filled up enough where if you don't, then you'll split the bottle.
And then you won't be able to use the water to thaw it out afterwards. We just talked to Daryl Payne of Pawfection Dog Training, and he had a really good point. Because as we can hear, Jack, I know your map all over with the pins of where people are listening is filling up.
Yeah, Colorado, Puerto Rico, Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia. And some people in Florida.
And some people in Florida. I was expecting more of those, actually, but the ones from out of the state are really, really, really cool. But Daryl Payne from Pawfection Dog Training made a really good point for folks who are maybe in a little bit more of the path of Hurricane Helene and you do have pets. Not only are they recommending that you find out where your pet-friendly shelter is, but he made a really good point of putting a harness on your dog instead of a leash, and to put it on early, and to attach their tags and everything, because if you have to pick them up to rescue them, or rescuers have to come and pick them up, it's a lot easier to do that with a harness
than
it would be with a leash.
Never thought of that.
I never thought of that either. Also, make sure you keep any of their vaccination records if you have them on hand, especially their most recent rabies vaccination. That would, I would imagine, be the most important. Put those in like clear Ziploc bags along with any kind of medication, flea meds, if they're on other medications. Put those in Ziploc bags so that if you do go to a pet-friendly shelter, they're not just going to simply let you in. You do need to have some proof of vaccination so that they know, you're not bringing a problem into the shelter. So any documentation that you have with your pets, be it cats, dogs, hopefully they're already microchipped. But the harness was, I thought, a really, really good tip for just in case you end up in worse weather than you're expecting, then people can help actually rescue your dogs.
I have a question. I'm sure some people will relate to me. Do you guys ever feel like you over-prepare?
A lot. Well, no, I can't say a lot because
I don't. Well, so this year I was tired of a storm would come and it's like, oh, I got to go get water. Then you go, and by the time you get there, the empty shelves, right?
Yep.
Where are you going to go get water? We're going to have so much water. Like, water won't stop. Like, I have like 2 MREs from the military from like 2000 somewhere in the house. And a lot of liquor. Like,
what was it?
Water, we'll have plenty of water.
2 years ago in my city, the amount of water was a problem where they couldn't filter the water and you couldn't use the water coming into your house because they couldn't process it. There was too much water.
I grew up in Cuba, and I'm also military. You could just boil the water and drink it.
Well,
That's how you filter it.
You can, but it's also easier if you have bottled water as well.
I have a couple, I think.
Yeah.
But the things that go scarce is the rum, the bourbon. I don't know. My wife thinks I'm crazy, but I've never prepared for anything in my life. I'm talking to you with the frozen gallons of water. It's like you're going to save the world by yourself.
This is a guy who never prepared for anything. He shows up a minute before the show. I don't prepare
ready to
for
go.
anything.
Exactly. I'm ready to go.
That said,
I'm ready to go.
He's very lucky, and things seem to be working out for him.
Yeah.
He would be the one survivor, and he would still have 1 MRE left, a little bit of bourbon and rum, and the water he would just collect in a bucket and boil and call it a day.
Yeah, my wife started filling the bathtub one time, and I'm like, we have a pool. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you over-prepared for everything?
So that's a legit point.
Yeah.
Although, if you have to flush the toilet, use the water from the tub, you just pour it in. It's a lot easier to carry it from the tub to the toilet than it is from the pool to the toilet.
Okay.
So your wife does have a point.
She was saving you a trip out to the pool. See, she was thinking of you,
Be
Alejandro.
nice to that Dos Equis girl.
Exactly. All right, we're going to take a break, but we'll be back with more, so keep it here on Real Radio 104.1.
Your chance to win tickets to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all season long on our Instagram at Real Radio 1041.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traffic is heavy right now for those traveling on I-4 east and westbound today. Looking at a disabled vehicle that blocks the left lane near the 535 exit, causing nearly standstill traffic all the way from the beach line. Another crash reported near the beach line on the eastbound side of I-4 that blocks the left lane. If you see other traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Florida Power and Light.
Florida needs a power company that's storm ready. That's why FPL works year-round to keep the power on and restore it safely and as quickly as possible when needed. FPL, working for you every single day. Get ready at fpl.com/storm.
That mortgage guy, Don, also does commercial and SBA, Small Business Administration loans. And if you have an existing SBA loan with a rate of 9% or more, then you're in luck. That mortgage guy, Don, can refinance your qualified high-interest SBA loan to a low fixed rate of 8.25%. Want to buy a business or franchise? That mortgage guy, Don, has your back and has over 50 sources for your SBA and business loans of all sizes. Get a quote with no hard credit inquiry. So don't miss the boat. Compare your quote at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Boost Mobile built America's newest 5G network and made it easier than ever to switch. And when you do, you can get a free Galaxy A25 5G. Need to hook up the whole family? With Boost Mobile, you can get 4 unlimited lines and 4 free 5G phones for only $100 per month. To switch, head to your local Boost Mobile store today and get your free Galaxy A25 5G or 4 unlimited lines and 5G phones for $100 a month. New customers only. Requires auto pay and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating dealers for details.
Go all the way and save. It's the Winning Drive sales event at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. Score new Nissans from 18.9 with no payments till 2025 and 0% interest. Touchdown at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. Home with a lifetime warranty.
VIN number RL 897631. MSRP 20050 plus taxes and fees with approved credit.
Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than Frogger's Grill and Bar. We've got your sports fix covered with Saturday college football, NFL football on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays too. Catch all the action on our tons of high-definition TVs while enjoying drink specials available all week long. Don't miss out on Frogger's amazing menu, where everything is fresh, never frozen. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, and Altamont Springs. Frogger's, hopping with food and fun.
Florida's law enforcement officers know how to keep us safe, but Tallahassee politicians think they know better. That's why they're lying about Amendment 3. The truth? Amendment 3 will protect Floridians from marijuana laced with deadly drugs like fentanyl and provide billions in funding for police. Here's Gadsden County Sheriff Morris Young on Amendment 3.
I'm Sheriff Morris Young. Illicit marijuana laced with illegal drugs like fentanyl have destroyed lives. I know, because I've seen it firsthand. Amendment 3 will save lives by making marijuana safe, regulated, and lab tested. Amendment 3 will protect our community from dangerous illegal drugs while allowing law enforcement to focus on serious crimes. Vote yes on Amendment 3, the smarter and safer choice for Florida.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Safe Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, Suite number 3, 321 Tallahassee, Florida, 32312.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer of Moderna, tells us about the advantages the speed of audio production affords their growing tech company.
At Moderna, we have a mindset saying that we pivot fearlessly. And I think with audio, you can pivot fearlessly. You can go where the news is and bringing in content that perhaps you didn't have a few weeks earlier. It's less 6 months in advance or 3 months in advance when you do a TVC. You're able to create really nimble content, which I think in this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local, every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. And we're Anajar and Levine. Experience the Anajar and Levine difference by calling us with any of your legal needs. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life. In Office Orlando.
Want a big green egg? For the lowest price anywhere, go to Wassie's Meat Market. They'll deliver and set your big green egg up so that you're cooking before they leave. Follow Wassie's Meat Market on Instagram or go to wassiesmeatmarket.com for your big green egg today.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. This This is The Jim Colbert Show. Take us with you for free on the iHeartRadio app.
Hey guys, it's your favorite oil field worker calling from the Alaska tundra again. No hurricanes here, but starting to get pretty cold. So this has seriously been one of your best weeks of programming I've heard. I don't know who this Jim Colbert guy is that's coming on Friday, but I think you should cancel the security credentials to get in the building and start your own show. Maybe call it Dirty Talk Deb and her Jackie Sack. Or let's let listeners call in with their own suggestions. What do you say?
I love you too much, Jack, to reduce you to the Jackie Sack.
I appreciate that. I'd rather, the work that two people do, let's disperse it over three people.
I don't mind that. I kind of like that. That three-person thing kind of helps out. But thank you for calling from the Alaskan tundra. Alejandro, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Listener calling us from Alaska.
Yeah, you guys get people from everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Adding my pin in the map, I have Portland, Oregon checking in as well.
Really?
From the home of Beverly Cleary.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. I also want to...
and Alaska, I guess.
Yeah, that's right, and Alaska. It's kind of fun with that map now, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah. All right. It's okay, Deb. It's okay.
I also like the tips that people are texting us at 77031.
Are these hurricane tips?
They are. I've never heard this one.
What's that?
What about placing cotton in the water and freezing it? I understand that makes the ice last a whole lot longer to keep foods cold. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not.
I don't prepare at all, remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Alejandro, wrong guy for hurricane prep day.
Yeah.
It's funny. He was talking earlier about showing his hurricane prep a couple of years. Was this a couple of years ago?
Yeah, a few years back.
A few years back when he put all his liquor on the bottle on the table.
Yeah.
And then he had two little itty bitty bottles of water.
Yeah.
Also had a flashlight and a beer opener. So I was prep.
A flashlight and a beer opener.
Yeah.
Technically, I think you just prepare the way most Floridians do.
That's
right?
the way it should be.
You have your party supplies.
Always.
You can't get your hurricane cakes at Publix anymore because everybody knows until the Waffle House closes, the fat lady hasn't sung yet.
That's it. That's another rule. Disney and the Waffle House.
The Waffle House, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody also said use solar yard lights if your power goes out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's not bad, right?
I stopped buying them. I got too frustrated with. I went through 3 sets. They last like a couple years.
That's not very long.
It's not.
No.
Yeah, they're not cheap. Well, I guess they've gotten cheaper. But when I used to buy, it's like, I don't know if they're much better now.
Right, that's kind of the problem, right? They've gotten cheaper, don't last as long.
Then you see someone with electric landscape lighting, and it looks like awesome.
Right,
it does look awesome. Plus, the solar lights become little missiles if it gets windy. I mean, they come out of the ground.
Yeah, nothing can actually.
That's a good point.
So, yeah, you got to be careful with those.
Notice the guy with all the liquor and no water actually figured out that the lawn lights might want to bring those inside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you might want to bring those inside. Also, somebody texted us that said, can I still take my dog to a shelter even if he's not had aboard a teleshot? That's where you want to call ahead and find out where your pet-friendly shelter is located so that you get those questions answered beforehand, because somebody else texted us at 77031 and said, after going through Ian, you'll appreciate being overprepared. And in some cases, that is the case, right?
Yeah. You start losing the things that you just are used to. I mean, when you lose electricity, it's like, in the dark, I'll just, be on my phone and realize, wait, there's no cell service. Or your phone dies and you can't charge it because you're not prepared. I have backup batteries, and they're charged.
There you go.
Yeah,
Look at you. That's smart, Jack.
Unlike my kid who uses the backup battery and then will leave it on the kitchen table until,
And then not tell you that they haven't been recharged, and then you go to use...
I don't even ask anymore. I just grab it. See, it may be codependent to do that for them, but I like knowing if I grab it, it's going to be charged.
Absolutely, especially when you need it.
Yeah.
Somebody else said, 5-gallon Igloo water cooler, boom, perfect, no bottle waste. Just fill that bad boy up with the water that you need.
Absolutely.
Let's see, what else do they have? Glow sticks for power outages.
Yeah, so if you want to have a rave.
I was going to say, you go over to
Molly
Alejandro's house, right?
Yeah.
You're right. You put a little Dos Equis costume on, get your glow stick, and Call it a party.
There you go. That's hurricane prep.
Because, the craziest thing was you definitely don't ever want to follow my lead. My very first hurricane was Hurricane Charlie. I'm at Publix because it's my first day of vacation. I don't know what's going on with Charlie. I just noticed that at Publix, they're covering up all of the juice with like plywood. And it doesn't make any sense to me because if the juice is bad, just take it to the back of the store.
Oh, juice.
Yeah, I understood the same thing, but what was going to come out of my mouth?
No, not
they're
Jews.
covering the Jews.
They're not covering the Jews. The Jews were allowed to walk in and out.
Okay.
This was the juice, the OJ, the grapefruit juice. So I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, what's going on with the juice? Why are you covering the juice? And he said, oh, Hurricane Charlie's coming. You didn't hear that? And
You mean the one in the cooler?
Yeah, exactly. The stuff
one?
in the cooler.
Okay.
So I'm like, no, I didn't know that Hurricane Charlie was coming this way, and I have a cart full of dairy. You don't want to buy a cart full of dairy before your power goes out.
Yeah.
So
you didn't. I mean, Charlie was an interesting storm that whipped through this state, came from west to east, right through Orange County,
like a buzzsaw,
but also took down all of those trees that been growing without a major storm taking care of that. That's why the tree damage from Gene and Francis, two bigger storms, didn't seem to do as much tree damage because Charlie got rid of all the low-hanging stuff.
I think it was at least 20,000 trees in the city of Orlando alone. I was living in Delaney Park at the time, and my mom and best friend lived like within a block of me. It took me 40 minutes to try to drive to their homes because there were so many trees down on the roadways. It was just easier to walk.
You're the person driving when they say, please stay off the roads.
Oh, no, everybody was driving that day after because everyone was looking for three things. Ice.
Yeah.
Power. Coffee was the most important thing.
Coffee.
I remember more people being like, do you know where I can get coffee? Than anything else after Charlie.
Specifically Charlie, I remember because it's the longest we lost our power. And for me, fortunately, it was only 12 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was my side of the block. Across the street, it was a week. And we had extension cords running from every house to the person across the street.
Really?
So you drive down the block, it was because you're driving over all of these extension cords.
And we forgot, because I had mentioned yesterday when Lauren Rowe was our guest co-host that living so close to ORMC, which is a level 1 trauma center, I only lost my power for like 3 days, but 3 days in August in Florida with no AC, you realize why back in the day they had to pay people to move here.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm just positive because I've never had a bad experience. I lost power for 3 weeks with Andrew in Miami.
Oh.
Hurricane Andrew. But
I didn't know you went through Andrew.
I had just gotten here. That's what pushed the raft was the hurricane. We pretty much surfed all the way here. It was
I was going to say it was the cafecito.
We sailed right with it. You know how many Cubans left for 91? It was like this. It's a hurricane coming north. Yeah. We're all going.
We got Cubans who didn't even intend on coming here.
Yeah,
exactly. So made it
brought them here.
But then again, I worked for a year in Iraq. Most of it no power. I'm Cuban, so we usually don't have. So for me, honestly, it's a party. It's like we don't have power. We got to cook all the food. So let's start grilling. And now we got to drink all the beer. So and like Jack says, 12 hours is the longest.
Yeah.
A few days is nice. Especially as a kid, you don't have school. Your friends come over from the block after everything's done.
We need you to post your address so that we know to where to bring our frozen food and the alcohol we haven't finished yet so we can come over and grill and party.
There you go.
Do it Floridian style, right?
That's the way to do it.
That's another great backup item. If you still have time, you maybe swing by a Tools Ace Hardware or a store. If you don't have make sure there's gas in your propane tank.
Yes, propane tanks.
Because if you lose power, that's a great way to be able to cook is out on the grill.
That's a really good point.
Also, you're not adding, by not cooking in the house, if you don't have power and AC, you don't want to add more heat in the house.
Oh, yeah.
So cooking on a outside grill is a great way to handle that.
And listen, not only do we want your talkbacks of where you're listening to us from all over the world, hello Alaska, Portland, Oregon, Puerto Rico, and beyond, but these are really great tips. If you've been through this before and you've learned a hack that maybe you think your neighbors throughout the entire state of Florida could use, pass it on. Send it over to 77031. Do the talk back as well, where you can give us your suggestion, because that's a really good idea, Jack. And the other thing, too, is that we have a lot of folks who've just moved to Florida and have never been through this kind of a storm before. And, yeah, a lot of people are thinking, well, I'll just hook up my generator. I'll just put it under the carport. You cannot keep your generator underneath the carport, even though it seems like it's open on all of those sides. It holds that heavy gas, that carbon monoxide in there. And if it's near any of your bedroom windows or your doors, that gas is going to seep into your home. So it's really important that you keep any generators away from any windows, doors, carports. Do not put them on a screened-in patio. You want to keep that as far away from your home as possible. Unfortunately, more deaths occur in hurricanes with what we do after the storm has passed. Like Jack said, getting in your car before officials have said it's safe to do so, getting around down trees without knowing if there's power lines. And then the other issue, sadly, every year we see this, is the use of generators. So let's do it smart, let's do it safe, and let's get through this together. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Orlando Sentinel columnist Scott Maxwell. So keep it on the Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
Real Radio is the news junkie.
I don't see Kanye West as a sexual being. Like, I don't picture him even really being into sex, even though he's showing people porn. He just doesn't come across that way, like as a sexual being.
That's how I picture you.
It's fair enough.
The News Junkie, weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1.
Traffic is heavy right now for those traveling on I-4 east and westbound today. Looking at a disabled vehicle that blocks the left lane near the 535 exit, causing nearly standstill traffic all the way from the beach line. Another crash reported near the beach line on the eastbound side of I-4 that blocks the left lane. If you see other traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Time with family, laughs with friends, and cash back. Discover's got you covered on the last one. That's because Discover doubles all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cash Back Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Time for the Jim Colbert Show question of the day. You're going to find that in our YouTube chat as soon as I finish telling you. It's brought to you by WeAreNotTheBanks.com. Whether this is the home where you want to stay and maybe it's time for a refinance, take advantage of lower interest rates and some of that equity you might have built up through your time in this house, or maybe it's time for you to look at that next home that you're going to move into. Either way, the mortgage guy you need to talk to is Brad Siebert at WeAreNotTheBanks.com. That's the guy who can help secure your loan, whether it's a VA loan, a conventional loan, a jumbo loan. Brad has done it all in the business. He helped me with my refi many years ago. It was fast, easy, got a great rate, put me in a better position today than I was before I went online to WeAreNotTheBanks.com. That's the website to go to for all your mortgage needs. Go see Brad. Tell him Jack sent you. WeAreNotTheBanks.com. NMLS ID numbers 66247, equal housing opportunity.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Call A1 Garage today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
From day one.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Florida's law enforcement officers know how to keep us safe, but Tallahassee politicians think they know better. That's why they're lying about Amendment 3. The truth? Amendment 3 will protect Floridians from marijuana laced with deadly drugs like fentanyl and provide billions in funding for police. Here's Gadsden County Sheriff Morris Young on Amendment 3.
I'm Sheriff Morris Young. Illicit marijuana laced with illegal drugs like fentanyl have destroyed lives. I know because I've seen it firsthand. Amendment 3 will save lives by making marijuana safe, regulated, and lab tested. Amendment 3 will protect our community from dangerous illegal drugs while allowing law enforcement to focus on serious crimes. Vote yes on Amendment 3, the smarter and safer choice for Florida.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Safe Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, Suite number 3, 321 Tallahassee, Florida, 32312.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Millions of people have chosen MScott Cash Advance. Ever wonder why? Maybe you should ask one of them. MScott has cash advances from $50 to $1,000 and no credit check. MScott. Some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
You've heard of a pro tip. Here's a mo tip. After an accident, the insurance company may make you a quick offer to go away. They may also be offering you pennies on the dollar. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
Columbus Day weekend, Saturday, October 12th through Monday, October 14th. Visit the Space Coast in Cocoa Beach and support the National Kiddie Foundation's 39th Annual Surf Fest, featuring hundreds of competitive surfers in pro and amateur divisions, live entertainment, and fun for the entire family. Spectators are free, so don't miss out on the fun in the sun at the Westgate Pier. Plus, join us for the Taste of Brevard and silent auction on Sunday, October 13th from 6 to 9 p.m. For more information, visit nkfsurf.com. That's nkfsurf.com.
I'm Carrie Champion, and this is Season 4 of Naked Sports. Up first, I explore the making of a rivalry. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese.
Every great player needs a foil.
People are talking about women's basketball just because of one single game. I just come here to play basketball every single day.
Clark and Reese have changed the way we consume women's sports. Listen to The Making of a Rivalry, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search The Making of a Rivalry, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, and start listening.
Score 0% on new Nissans for the win. Click OrlandoNissan.com.
Radio. Radio. 104.1.
Consume women's sports. Listen to The Making of a Rivalry.
At
Caitlin
work,
Clark
just
versus
pretend you're on a
Angel
Zoom call with us. Your mic is off. Your mic is off. The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday despite the weather outside. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. Jim, we hope we'll be back, weather permitting, on Friday. You've got Deb, Jack, and Alejandro.
Hello.
And every week at this time, we like to invite the Truth Dragon, Sweet Heat himself. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Orlando Sentinel columnist Scott Maxwell. Yay!
Happy Hurricane Eve, everyone.
How are you doing, Scott?
I am. We are doing better now. We just had about a 50-foot rotten tree taken out of our front yard.
Oh, what?
No,
Perfect.
Again?
No. This is good news, right?
It is. Well, actually, it's related. It's the one that got struck by lightning. Turned out didn't do so well after being hit by lightning, and it started falling apart. Had some branches almost take out a car, and then we had the storm coming. We had it scheduled to take down on Monday, and we said, "Is there any way you can come do it today?" And God bless the 12-man crew that were doing this. As the outer bands of Helene started whipping around, they were taking down the tree. So
Yay!
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's great news.
Hey, you had to pay extra for that? Did you tip? What was the
No,
deal?
we were already paying. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh, it
It's
ain't
super
it ain't
expensive.
cheap to get a big tree removed.
No, it is not. No,
Yeah.
it is not. But we just got word actually that now officials are expecting Helene to be a Category 4 by the time she hits Florida. So Category 4. I don't know. And Scott, so thank goodness that tree is gone now before all of this wind and rain starts, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to be scary stuff. I mean, everybody knows. Everybody's got live oaks that just start dying and falling, and the branches are just so much heavier than I think people realize. You see someone that fall, you think I'm going to just move it off, and it takes 4 guys and a wheelbarrow.
It's just like why, again, Tallahassee, they have never been directly challenged by a hurricane. It's certainly not a Cat 4 in at least 75 years. So all that 75 years worth of tree growth, Capital City is really going to be going through it.
If there's a place in Florida that could use a good rinse, yeah.
That is true.
Isn't it true?
The people who we'd like to see blown out of the state will probably still be there.
Yeah.
So what do you have on tap for us today, Scott?
Well, let's see. The city's buzzing, as you probably heard and talked about. J.D. Vance is in town today.
So what is going on with that? Of all the times to maybe not come to a state to do some fundraising, it might be when a state of emergency has been declared.
Yeah, well, I think there was a lot of money at play, and I think it was scheduled before. It said a guy, I think we've mentioned him before, and it was kind of kept on the down low until very recently, but it was Eric Holmes, his name. He's the owner of a bunch of the Golden Corral franchises, because apparently all you can eat, yeast rolls or whatever they are, that adds up. He's got a lot of money, big house on the Winter Park chain of lakes. And I think there were opportunities. We don't know what people actually paid, but they were asking for sponsorships of up to $100,000 to attend this thing.
That's why I didn't get asked.
Yeah, well, you'd be asked. You just can't come empty-handed. That's the way those things works. And in case you're wondering about beefed up security in the post assassination attempts world, my friend Beth Cassav, who now runs the Winter Park Voice, was out there and said that not only was every street in Winter Park closed, but they had boats, I think, on Lake Virginia, state and federal law enforcement manning the waters all around the house to make sure nobody could approach from sea either. Not really sea, but yeah.
New world we're living in.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to take these precautions, but it's
Yes.
amazing when anyone of, that level moves, and they move every day, multiple places in a day, the cost that's associated with that. And now
It's
we have to
exorbitant.
go extra security because of the 2 idiots who, decide to take shots.
Right, exactly. And is that going to be something that Winter Park is going to end up having to pay for?
I don't think so. I mean, I think most local agencies will if they've got staff, they'll put them on there. They don't usually shell out a lot of their own costs out of pocket. It's traditionally how it's done. As Jack mentioned, it goes on for everybody. And during an election year, it often goes on ×4, because you've got a president, a vice president, a candidate, and their running mate. And then keep in mind, we also do this for all the ex-presidents.
Right.
For the rest of their lives, for the most, not usually quite as intense, but yeah, the money that's nations
And Jimmy
spend-
Carter is getting every nickel out of the government. 100 years old.
It's
God love
almost
him.
amazing we haven't had more tragedies, given that these guys still operate in relatively free spaces, speaking in open air places all the time. It's kind of remarkable it hadn't happened more. But
I do know that going forward now, the glass kind of cage that has to surround former President Trump will now be going to every rally location, so that what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania, it's bulletproof glass, of course, with the second attempt being made in South Florida, that anywhere they go now before he speaks, they have to ship this kind of glass-walled cage ahead of him so that he has some protection when he's speaking on these stages.
That's going to damage his golf game.
He'll also give you an excuse.
That's the opening for Saturday Night Live with the, he's in this glass box, he swings and the ball's bouncing around.
Good idea, Alejandro. Maybe they'll follow through on it. What were you saying, Scott?
No, I was just going to say, it looked like he was here for 3 hours. He got in at 11:50 and left at 2:50, according to our newspaper. So, and there were some Harris Waltz protesters out as close as they could get as well.
So see,
big day for Central Florida.
Nothing's going to stop it, right? Not even a Category 4 hurricane.
Right. But I did want one thing, like on a different notice, while all this was going on, and this is a column I just turned in, I don't think this got much attention because of the impending storm, and understandably so. But on Tuesday, yesterday, while the storm was going on, the prep was going on, the state of Florida was in federal court yet again. And there's a lot of education issues going on in the state. We rank like 45th in SAT scores. We're behind average in ACT scores. I think the metrics show that most of our students aren't passing the benchmarks for math and science and other things. All those things, you know what the big issue, education issue we're focused on right now is preferred pronouns. And the state of Florida was in court for something like the second or third time, trying to justify the law they passed last year that says teachers, and actually, as it turns out, the way the law was written, even all school personnel, including like janitors, can't use preferred pronouns to refer to themselves or others. The only pronoun you can say by law in the state of Florida is the one to which you were assigned at birth. And that we have now, according to the News Service of Florida, spent $676,000 in outside legal costs defending that law, with judges saying, now, why do you think the government's allowed to tell individuals what pronoun they're going to, they're allowed to say? So it doesn't look like it's going very well, but we are hell's a popping to make sure that law is defended.
And, part of why that's so extra egregious is I would invite folks to read your article about the stats that just came out about Florida's pre-K program.
Yep.
Because there's a startling statistic in that, Scott, where you mentioned that the state of Florida spends $3,000 on every pre-K student, but $30,000 on every inmate.
That's exactly right. And that was the subject of today's column, is 2 education pieces. And there's an absolute correlation. I think a lot of people just sort of pound their fists and say, what's wrong with kids today? Well, a lot of what's wrong with kids today is they don't get a good education. And it doesn't start in kindergarten. In fact, all the research shows that 90% of a human brain is formed before the age of 5. So if you want kids to be ready for kindergarten, not just so they know their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, you have to get them in an environment where they're used to learning. And you have to teach them logic. You have to teach them how to listen. You have to teach them how to use their words instead of their fists. And study after study has shown that kids who attend pre-K, and we're talking about 4-year-olds who basically, instead of sitting in a daycare center, are learning things. Kids who attend pre-K are not only likely to do better in kindergarten, they're more likely to graduate from high school. They're more likely to graduate from college. They're more likely to do things like get married and stay married without a divorce. And to your point, Deb, they are less likely to end up in prison. And I know that's a lot to sort of wrap your heads around. You're taking it all the way back to 4 years old. But if you think about it, I know you guys are Jack's a parent. You start your kid out on the right path to life. They're going to end up on the right one a lot later in life. And Florida, to your point, we are one of the cases, despite the fact that it's the citizens of this state who mandated that we created it 20 years ago, a statewide vote. Citizens were asked, do you want to have universal pre-K? Everybody said yes, 60% of Floridians. Lawmakers hate it when we do that, and so they have consistently underfunded it to the extent that right now, 20 years later, what every family actually gets is $4 and I think 75 cents an hour for 3 hours a day.
I think it's $4.62.
Thank you. 462. And you tell me what the hell, you can't get a babysitter for $5 an hour, much less a qualified teacher. And the organizations that look at this stuff, they take all 50 states and they say, here's 10 benchmarks. what programs do your state meet? And like, for instance, does your state have qualified teachers, certified teachers, actual curriculum? Does your state check for vision and screening? Because for a lot of kids who don't have family doctors, that's the first time they find out, oh, the reason Johnny can't read is because he can't freaking see. There's 10 benchmarks. Florida only clears 4, which is like an F-, and it's been that way for about 10 years.
And what's extra frustrating about that is that when you wrote about the 2002 constitutional amendment, they mentioned that citizens didn't just want pre-K, we wanted high quality, and not getting it. So when you talk about the state of Florida being in court yet again, spending over $600,000 on this latest lawsuit, the governor in your article, and I remember this earlier this year, talked about how big the budget surplus was. He actually said, I don't even know what to do with all of this money. The surplus is so big. Well, I don't think lawsuits over pronouns is where we need to be putting our taxpayer money.
And that lawsuit is just one of so many that's going on. There's been litigation over drag shows. You may remember Hamburger Mary is the main litigant. All these anti-woke, CRT, use your pronouns, don't say things that upset, I'll argue, fragile white people. Don't give history lessons that tell the truth if it makes white parents uncomfortable about it. Lawsuit after lawsuit. We are spending that money. As you mentioned, the state's budget's been good. The governor said he didn't know how to spend it all. So there is actually a lawsuit that could have some merit. The head of the National Pre-K Institute talked about the amendment that was passed that you mentioned, said it clearly says Florida citizens demanded high quality pre-K. You clearly do not have high quality pre-K. You have F- pre-K. He said, if someone was to sue the state, I feel confident you could win. The problem is, who the hell's going to fund that lawsuit? I just told you it's $676,000 just to get to like stage 2 of this one about the pronouns. Who's going to fund? Preschoolers don't have lobbyists, not the way Big Sugar does or the gun lobby does or the power lobby does. It's the same reason disabled families are left on waiting lists for 7 years, because they don't have deep-pocketed lobbyists. And they're, to bring this full circle, not at the $100,000 a head fundraisers we're talking about that are going on in the Winter Park today.
So now you know what you need to do to be a mover and a shaker, I guess.
Absolutely. Money moves everything. If there's one thing I could snap my fingers and change about politics in America, it would be to remove the ability to give unlimited cash, because it is the main reason why politicians do not act on the things you care about, because you don't have as much money as the Fortune 20 companies that are funneling everything. I mean, we've talked about this before. Regardless of where you sit on marijuana, legalizing marijuana, when I look at the weekly reports of who's spending the most on politics, it continues to be what I told you guys before. It's like $5 million a week by True Leave and these other marijuana a week. I mean, coming in second is like 100,000. They're spending. And so, I mean, the libertarian in me may like the idea of, legalized marijuana. I voted for medical marijuana, but the people making policy in this world and, greasing the political wheels are not you and me and the average Joes. It's these companies that have the money, these deep pockets and never-ending bank accounts.
Scott, Disney was in the news, and it's over a lawsuit about being overtaxed, but we are learning that it could cost Orange County Public Schools the money. How is it that that extra tax only went to the schools and they're on the hook for it? Do you have any more insight on that?
Oh, you're raising that's just a very good question, Jack. I hadn't given a thought to that. I do not know why. Yeah, it is a universal tax, so I would think the county would be too. There's some aspect of that I don't understand. I will tell you, I read the story about it. I'm not sure what to make of it. The judge seemed pretty clear that he thought Disney was being overtaxed for this one particular hotel. As you implied, the concern for taxpayers is that they might extrapolate this to all their hotels and be entitled $80 million. I will tell you this, though. This comes back to money. A lot of people would think they're being overtaxed. The only way you're able to fight this is if you have deep-pocketed and armies of lawyers to do that. I mean, I'm going to guess of the 4 of us that are on this program right now, none of us have ever had a lawyer challenge our property tax bill. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Jury's out on Alejandro. He's a man of mystery.
He is. We have no idea.
He did get strangely silent when I said
Yeah,
that.
what are taxes?
Oh, the accent. Mwah.
I know, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Also, I did think I would do anything Alejandro asked with that accent. If he said I don't want to pay taxes, okay.
Right, exactly.
That's how I get away with it.
I got that for you, boo.
Daryl Payne almost wouldn't come in today because he heard Alejandro was in. He has accent and voice envy. So we've been battling this all day today, Scott.
That's understandable. I'm from North Carolina. I sound like I'm chewing on hay every time I open my mouth. So I'm in awe of a guy like him. Yeah.
Not at all, but thank you. We hope if you get any information on that Disney taxation story, because we're all confused as to why Orange County Public Schools of all things would be on the hook for something that should be a county responsibility. So,
well, I know why the county. I mean, there is a chunk that goes to the schools. Absolutely. You pay like a $10 for every $1,000, and that's not the real amount, but I'm making that up to keep it simple. And like $5 of that 10 goes to school, and $3 goes to the county, and $1 goes to the library and the fire district, and something like that. But what I don't know is why it wouldn't go. The impact wouldn't be spread out among all those entities. So I'll try to find out.
I was going to say that's why we're counting on you, Sweet Heat and Truth Dragon, to find out for us.
Scott, besides the thousands you've spent on dead tree removal, what's the first thing on the list usually for Maxwell hurricane prep? Like, what do you do when you have a storm coming? What's the thing you guys have to have?
Funyuns.
Oh,
nice.
Good man. Good man.
Funyuns are my go-to hurricane food. The other thing, and I kind of don't know that I want to say this out loud because I don't want everybody else taking my secret here, but if a storm's really looked like it's barreling down on us, which this one does not, it's hotel reservations. And my tip to anybody who wants to do that is make your hotel reservations nowhere near where we live.
Right.
Make them near the airport or the theme parks, because the people in charge of getting power back on do not give a hoot about you or me, but they will not let Disney or Universal or MCO be without power for very long. So make your reservation down there.
A very good point. And for those Funyuns, Scott, I want to pass on a tip that a listener passed on to our texting service at 77031. They say to put your bread and your chips in the dryer so they don't mold from the moisture.
In the dryer?
Yeah, keep them in the dryer because, of course, when your AC goes off, everything in your house gets that film of humidity sitting on everything, and that could include chips in the cabinets and your bread as well. So put them in the dryer where you've got that seal on there, and the moisture can't get to it.
A bag of Funyuns that lasted long enough to have the ability to get humid, but okay.
Smart man.
That is a smart man. Listen, we hope you and your lovely wife ride out the storm okay, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you. Before I go, Alejandro, can you tell me goodbye?
Adios.
Scott Maxwell, ladies and gentlemen, you can read his wise words Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday in the Orlando Sentinel. Definitely worth a follow on Twitter as well. Scott_Maxwell. We'll see you next week, Scott. Alejandro, tell him thank you again.
Muchas gracias, Scott.
I'm feeling a little left out around here, guys. Anyway, would anybody like some Halloween Horror Night tickets? We're going to be giving those away next in trivia, so load up the phones, 407-916-1041. We'll do that next, so keep it here on Real Radio 104.1.
We have a prize. Get on board at 407-916-1041. Jim Colbert Show Trivia is brought to you by Cento Family Moving and Storage. That's CENTO moving.com.
This is Super Bowl champion Alfred Williams. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
NHL hockey returns to Orlando tonight. It's the annual exhibition game between the Lightning and the Panthers. It's at the Kia Center. Florida football coach Billy Napier says their bye-week practices have focused on individual and team improvement with an emphasis on tackling. And UNLV's starting quarterback has left the team this week after a six-figure NIL payout he was promised didn't come to fruition. I'm Scott Davidson.
Staples prints anything you need for your business like banners, flyers, and signs. And Staples will beat any price quote. Plus, now print more, save more. Up to $150 off your print purchase. Offer ends 11/2. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details or staples.com/price match for price match guarantee.
Man, there's nothing in the world like having somebody that can damn sure help you out when something hits the fan, especially when it comes with your air conditioning. That is where I lean on Mills Air. Jack does as well. Deb's mom leaned on him. Ross and Olivia leaned on him. Many Central Floridians have leaned on these guys for that incredible service based on that 30-plus years of experience here in Central Florida. Look, if you don't think that your AC is going to make it through the summer, you got to make your move right now. A preventive maintenance plan can do that for you, and Mills Air can provide that for you. Not to mention, if you do need a new unit, even better news, the new technology is incredible, saving you money every single month, and these guys are Carrier factory authorized dealers. On top of the savings, they can get you up to $1,275 in rebates towards that brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier and certainly turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Call these guys today and schedule that very important appointment. It's 407-277-1159. Online, it's millsair.com.
Connection, opportunity, possibility. It's what we all want. Spectrum has built a world where anything is possible, with products and services designed to work better together for a seamless connectivity experience. A connection to family and friends, a connection to education, and a connection to new opportunities. So there's no limit to how big we can dream. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Sunset Walk presents the Best of Challenge Taco Edition, Saturday, October 5th at the Promenade. Join me and the cast of The Jim Colbert Show as we host the Best of Challenge. 11 venues competing to be crowned the best taco of Sunset Walk. Participants include Yeoman's Top Golf Swing Suite, The Wharf, and Anthony's Coal Fire Pizza and Wings. VIP tasting tickets on sale now at sunsetwalk.com. Spectators and parking are free. Plus, DJ Scotty B, Society Band, and more. The Best of Challenge Taco Edition, Saturday, October 5th at Sunset Walk.
I never thought much about final expenses until my dad passed away last year. That's when I decided to take control of my own final expense planning. Then I found the Smart Money Insurance app. I secured a final expense insurance policy that fits my needs and budget. You can get coverage up to $25,000 with policies starting as low as $14 per month. Download the Smart Money Insurance app today and take the first step towards your peace of mind.
Insurance sold by Smart Money Insurance Services, Inc. Underwritten by various insurers. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
With 3 generations and over 45 years of Florida experience, Handyman Roofing knows storms and hurricanes. We know how to evaluate storm-damaged roofs and not cause more damage. Handyman Roofing has the expertise to get your roof done. Plus, easy financing in case your insurance company is dragging its feet. With multiple emergency response teams ready, Handyman Roofing will be by your side now when you need it the most.
Knows how to get things done. Count on Handyman Roofing to get it done. Handyman Roofing to get it done.
Jim Colbert here for FAS Windows and Doors. Are your energy costs through the roof? Well, it's time to replace your single-pane aluminum windows with the most energy-efficient option available. Keep the heat outside during the summer and inside during the winter. Too much outside noise getting in? Considering replacing older windows and doors with laminated insulated glass, providing as much as 100% improvement. Keep that noise outside where it belongs. Offering rebates of $100 per window and $200 per door. Also offering 24-month, no money down, no payment, no interest financing. For a completely free in-home consultation, call FAS or visit them online. Trust the leader, FAS.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations, like the Beatles Now and Then. Just search Beatles and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet.
Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Sponsored by the Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home at thenickley.com.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
You can watch radio being made on a daily basis at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Hey, Deb. Happy Wednesday.
Hello.
Hey, real quick, spot-on idea, man. Had good friends down the Virgin Islands. The best thing you want, man, find yourself a solar charger that charges radios, that charges cell phones, and you should have a better time, but, hey, man, way you go. See you.
Hey, how's it, everyone? You know, over here in the 32903, we're always listening to you guys in Indy Atlantic. Anyway, yep, Storm, come on, people. I mean, over here we stay ready. I mean, you have all year to prep for it. Maybe the only thing you should get last minute, some gas for the generator if you have one, but a little bit here and there throughout the year, and you're always ready to go. Aloha.
Aloha. Yeah, some great storm chips, by the way, at 77031. Here's a really cool one before we get to trivia. If you're concerned about your power going out, and especially if you're going to be leaving your house, put a container of water in the freezer. Once it's frozen, put a coin on top. When you get back, if the coin is at the bottom, chances are your food may be spoiled because that bowl of water had thawed.
Yeah, your freezer was not frozen the entire time.
So now you know everything's got to go. So thanks again for those tips at 77031. We really do appreciate it. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. We hope to have the Jim part back on Friday, but in his stead, you've got Deb. We've got our special guest co-host, Alejandro.
Buenas tardes.
And we also have Jack. And speaking of Jack, he's got the Jackie Sack.
All aboard.
Chugga chugga.
Choo choo.
You didn't remind me.
I know. Clickety clack.
You didn't remind me is not the appropriate response, Alejandro.
You should have reminded me. It's been 2 weeks since I was here.
You're absolutely right. We should have reminded you, but we never remember to remind you.
Okay.
Clickety clack, clickety clack.
Outstanding. Okay, you know about the prize. All the callers do because they've been calling all afternoon.
I bet.
But we got 4 ready to play, and it's for a pair of tickets to Universal's Halloween Horror Nights with a free parking pass. You'll never feel more alive than when you're scared to death at Universal Orlando Halloween Horror Nights. Now, going on now through select nights through November 3rd. So you have a little time to execute this. It goes way past Halloween. Which
it does.
Awesome because it's so damn popular. Universal Halloween Horror Nights. This is where horror lives.
Along with a parking pass, and the Jackie Sack is always brought to you by Cento Family Moving and Storage. Everybody knows moving sucks, so put their fully trained expert moving crews to the test, but be aware they're adept in packing your things, handling your furniture, safe driving, customer service, and so much more. Speaking of more, mention the Jim Colbert Show. You will get a discount. Book them today at CentoMoving.com. That's CENTO. Moving.com. Jack, who's our first victim?
Oh, right out of the gate is going to be Gidget.
Gidget.
Yeah.
How are you doing today, Gidget?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am fat and sassy. Would you like to play a little game?
Sure.
All right, here we go. All right, Gidget, you know how this works. We're going to make a statement followed by 4 facts. One of those facts, however, is a lie. This is a Brad day, so it could be a little more difficult than usual. Are you ready?
Wow. Tough getting a Brad day.
I know. Are you ready, Gidget?
Yes.
Here we go. On this day in 1968, rapper, actor, producer, he's fresh, he's jiggy, Will Smith was born. Here are 3 facts about the Fresh Prince and 1 lie that'll slap you silly. Number 1, he received the first ever Grammy Award for Best Rap Performance. Number 2, he went through an awkward 6-inch growth spurt from ages 16 through 18. Number 3, was the first guest on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Or number 4, he speaks fluent Spanish. Which is the lie?
3.
3 is a fact. So, Gidget, I'm sorry you didn't win.
Where's Dominatrix Deb to talk to Gidget?
All right, Gidget, you got it wrong. You're a dirty little pig. Now squeal for me. Bye, girl. Bye.
She didn't request it.
She did, but if you'll notice, for anyone watching us on the YouTube channel, Alejandro will not meet me in the. You won't look me in the eye, will you?
I like that.
I will not because she hasn't come out.
Okay. Who's
Matt?
Matt, how you doing, Matt?
Ooh, Deb, things are gonna get easier.
Okay, well, let's see. Let's see if you can find a lie or if you're going to raise the ire of Dominatrix Deb.
Now he's got a 33% chance of winning.
Yes, he does. All right. Here we go, Matt. Number 1, he received the first ever Grammy Award for Best Rap Performance. Number 2, he went through an awkward 6-inch growth spurt from ages 16 through 18. Or number 3, he speaks fluent Spanish.
I think it's number 1.
Number 1 is a fact, you filthy little man. Now squeal for me.
Stay safe, everybody.
That's not a squeal.
It's not a squeal.
They're not doing well today.
They're not doing well. So who goes next, Jack?
Let's see how John does.
Okay, John.
Hey.
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 So if you lose, are you going to squeal properly?
I will.
All right. Here we go, John. You got a 50-50 chance.
Now he's going to win.
Yeah, no, exactly. Here are your 2 choices. You got a 50-50 chance, John. Number 1, he went through an awkward 6-inch growth spurt from ages 16 through 18, or he speaks fluent Spanish.
Number 2.
Number 2 is actually a fact.
Oh, my
John.
goodness.
So squeal for me, you filthy little man.
Wee! Wee!
There you go. Yay! Thank you, John. Now Alejandro won't meet me in the eye.
Yeah, wow.
Who is next?
Well, it's our final contestant with only one option left. Here's Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good. Listen, I need you to do me a favor, Gary.
Yep.
Hush up and listen. Tell me if this is a fact or not. Will Smith went through an awkward 6-inch growth spurt from ages 16 through 18.
That's a dirty, dirty lie.
It is a dirty lie, Gary. Yay!
Oh my God, my wife's gonna be so excited. We just won.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's screaming in the background.
Oh, excellent, Gary. I'm so happy. I hope you and your wife have a great time at Halloween Horror Nights, along with that parking pass, because as we all know, whether it matters to Alejandro or not, it does when you can park closer to the park.
And for free, baby.
And for free, right? That love language. Thank you, Gary.
Hey, can I say one quick thing?
Sure.
All right. Hurricane tip, put water, so in case you need to flush the toilet, get some buckets of water. And I have to tell you, Deb, you have a voice that I'd like to hear you just read the dictionary.
Oh.
But then again, Alejandro's a close second.
Yay, Gary. Maybe Alejandro and I can switch off, right? I'll do a chapter, then Alejandro can do a chapter.
The beautiful thing?
Thank you so much, guys. Be safe. Okay?
Thank you, Gary. You too. You and your wife have a great time.
In order to get his prize, he's going to have to listen to my voice.
Oh, good Lord. Maybe I don't want him that bad.
Oh! All right. This is why it turns out it's the lie. He's actually been at his adult height of 6'2" since he was 13 years old, although he is now about 60 pounds heavier than when he reached this height when he was a teenager. And then last but not least, his Grammy Award for Best Rap Performance was for Parents Just Don't Understand. But what's really interesting, what do you think his biggest career regret is, Alejandro?
Slapping Chris Rock?
How can it not be that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, it's turning down the part of Neo in The Matrix. Apparently, he'd been offered that even before Keanu Reeves.
Wouldn't have been the same.
It wouldn't. It would not have been the
so.
same. So congratulations, Gary, and your wife. You're going to go see Halloween Horror Nights along with a parking pass.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. And thanks to Brad, of course, for coming up with the trivia this week. Jimmy will do that heavy lifting when he gets back on Friday.
And by the way, real quick, Texter says, who's Brad? You know, they live in Lakeland. They just don't know. Brad is a listener over in Brevard.
Right.
He's been sending us trivia questions for well over 10 years, maybe 15 years. Whenever, you know, he would do it on the previous show, the Phillips File, but also he would, you know, whenever Jimmy takes off, he steps up, sends us questions, and does a great job writing them.
Yeah, we really, really appreciate your help, Brad. That's one less thing for Jack and I to do, so we do appreciate that. Someone else you're going to want to stick around for, folks. Ooh, we got a special treat for you on this Wednesday like we do normally every Wednesday. You're going to want to keep it here on the Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1 because coming up next is Papa Paget, Ross Paget, for another episode of Good Sauce with Ross and Joel coming up tonight.
I see a baby.
No, really?
Go.
Oh, we'll get to do that next here. Keep it on Real Radio 104.1. Yay!
Why follow Real Radio on Instagram? Because we want to send you to see the Tampa Bay Bucks in an upcoming home game. Each week this NFL season, you have a chance to win tickets. Check our feed at Real Radio 1041 on Instagram.
Looking at major problems on I-4 this afternoon. Right now, there is a crash currently blocking the left lane westbound on the interstate just before Lake Mary Boulevard, causing heavy backups on the interstate. Looking at major delays as well east and westbound through downtown and by the major attractions exits. If you see other traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer custom-made faux wood and real wood blinds and shutters, cellular shades, Roman shades, bamboo shades, exterior shades, and more, all at factory direct prices. Don't pay too much for new blinds. Go to Blindster.com.
Time for a new bathroom. You have literally told yourself this over and over for years. And what will happen is you go, well, instead of the bathroom, maybe we'll do the flooring. Instead of the bathroom, maybe we'll paint the house. You keep putting it off because you keep hearing from friends and family, it's going to cost too much. It's going to take forever. You're going to have strange people in your house for months at a time. You're going to be down to one bathroom for all that time. Man, none of that. And I mean not even one syllable that is true if you work with Rebath in Mid-Florida. These guys are awesome. Your bathroom install is 4 to 6 days. That's the average time. You'll see those employees only because they don't use subcontractors. And even better, when your job is done, you get a lifetime guarantee on the products and the install. That's unheard of in the construction business. And on top of that, you get a choice of really good products and a design team to help bring your ideas to life with their products. You can actually see that come to life right now. Go to the showroom, 436 Up and Altamont. They're right across from Kobe, and you'll see a number of models. Every bathroom at Rebath is custom. You work with their design team and their products and your ideas, and next thing you know, you'll have a beautiful bathroom. Even better, if you tell them you heard about them from the Jim Colbert Show, they'll give you $800 in free upgrades. So log on to the website, look at the before and afters, and see what they've done for people, including our friend Daryl Payne from Paw Affection Dog Training, and then book your appointment to find out what they can do for you. It's easy. RebathMidFLA.com.
If I need cash, is Amscot really open anytime?
Yep, anytime. 365 days a year. With Amscot cash advances from $50 to $1,000. Many branches open 24/7. Amscot. Some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
Hi, I'm Susan, and I'm a school teacher, and my husband is a firefighter. One day, we got the worst call of our lives. Our son was in a serious accident. We heard Glenn Klausman on Real Radio and called him to help. Mr. Klausman genuinely cared about our son and fought multiple insurance companies to get us a great result. We could reach him 24/7 on his cell phone. Mr. Klausman was our guardian angel.
I'm Glenn Klausman. Contact me at klausmanlaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN law.com. Office, Winter Park.
Boost Mobile built America's newest 5G network and made it easier than ever to switch. And when you do, you can get a free Galaxy A25 5G. Need to hook up the whole family? With Boost Mobile, you can get 4 unlimited lines and 4 free 5G phones for only $100 per month. To switch, head to your local Boost Mobile store today and get your free Galaxy A25 5G or 4 unlimited lines and 5G phones for $100 a month. New customers only. Requires auto pay and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating dealers for details.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Oh, hi. My air conditioner is blowing hot.
For air
conditioners making a funny noise, press 1.
No, it's...
Try to listen to the whole message before making a selection.
Sorry.
For air conditioners blowing cold, but not quite cold enough, press 2.
No, it's blowing hot.
I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Well, can we speed this up?
Don't get grumpy with me, or I'll take you back to the main menu.
No, anything but that. Please don't send me back to the main menu.
Fine, but I'm watching you.
Bet if I'd called Frank Gay, I'd already be getting my problem solved.
But you didn't call Frank Gay. So, what do we do now?
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your air conditioner is blowing hot, you need a solution now. A helpful operator to guide you, all your options explained, and your problem fixed fast. That's the Frank Gay way.
If you're ready to pull your hair out, press 7.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at CentoMoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news, commercial and SBA loan rates are falling too. Get a quote to refinance your business loan today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With that mortgage guy, Don.
So you want to be my client. You think you deserve fair compensation for your injuries. Well, you got to call me. Can't just keep listening forever. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. You probably don't know this or care, but we have web goals. So go to JimColbertLive.com and look at stuff.
Here's what's going on. It's not even here yet. Good Lord.
Hello, everybody. This is your old pal Ken, calling in you, listening all day long from Orlando, Florida. It's getting pretty wet out here right now, but yes, I do wear togas and kilts. That's any fun. And have a good hump day, which is a great day to hump. Bye-bye.
It's fun and comfortable and classy.
And classy.
And classy. Always keeping it classy, Alejandro. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1. Jim will hopefully be back with us on Friday. You've got Deb, Jack, and our special guest co-host, Alejandro. Say hi, Alejandro.
Hi, Alejandro.
And every Wednesday, if we're lucky at this time, we like to welcome a good friend of the show and hopefully another new good friend of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Ross Padgett from Good Sauce with Ross and Joel. Yay! Now show me the
yeah.
Now show me the
I'm
baby.
so happy to be here.
Show me the baby.
What do you? That's laundry. There's not even a baby in your
I don't know. I
arms
think
right
he's
now.
breastfeeding.
There's a dog, dude. I just wanted to give you.
Oh, Ross!
Yeah, I know. You guys thought it was my. Yeah, you guys thought it was my baby, but it's in fact a stage 2 cancer-riddled dog, but still super cute.
She is super cute.
I know. I probably shouldn't have brought up the whole cancer thing. I kind of regret that, but she's still awesome.
She is awesome, and she's looking good too.
I love his commitment. That was a solid 5 minutes. He had that dog wrapped up in that little blanket. Oh wow!
Teaser.
I'm a jokester. I'm a prankster.
Yeah.
I'm a choker and a smoker.
Yeah, Hazel, the other dog, kept coming by to kind of see what was going on.
Exactly.
Explains it all now.
Keep seeing your butt in the camera. Couldn't figure out why. Now I know why.
Oh, that's funny.
So right now I'm in the nursery, so I will show you that. But little man is sleeping right now, so I was like, maybe next week. But I don't know if I told you guys this, but I'm so happy I got a cute baby.
Yeah. I think you mentioned that.
Like, just so I don't have the fear of people walking up to me going like, yo, he's got fingers, like I'm so happy about that. Like he's definitely a show-stopping baby.
He is a gorgeous little nugget.
Yeah, I know. I'm already signing him up for commercials and whatnot. I'm not doing that. But
you should.
Who knows?
Yeah, he's already signed with William Morris.
Yeah, exactly.
But we have a really fun episode tonight. I know there's plenty of let me just start off by saying, like, going back to sitting shotgun to a 9.5-month pregnancy, right? Shout out to the doulas.
Oh, she had a doula.
Yeah, we had a doula.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The doula wasn't just for her. The doula was also for me.
Really?
Her name was Chelsea, and she was like a birth coach. Like she was rah. And then she even came over this morning to see how we were doing, even to like help out if we were like stressing. But she ended up being a really good friend. And I just think that that's actually going to be my next career.
Is a doula, a birth doula?
I think there's not enough male doulas in this country, on this planet. It's a very small niche, and I think I'm here to take advantage of it. So I would like to announce my new LLC, Doodlas.
Interesting.
Just imagine me, in the room, just going like, listen here, we've got to push a little bit harder here, like it's got a different vibe. I'm just saying, I think that might be where my next year is going. I'm trying to help ladies give birth. They will not like me, but I will power through that.
I'm thinking it might be a tough year.
Yeah. You have no idea. But jokes aside, doulas, wow, what spirit animals they are for human beings and giving, creating human beings. That's been amazing. She's been amazing. And the first official, we are 2 weeks now into fatherhood.
I was going to say, how's it treating you? How's it treating you?
I'm loving it. Sure, you get a little sleep deprived, but you catch some naps whenever you can. You get your batteries recharged, and then you're back at it. It's been really cool. It's been awesome doing the podcast with Renato and Joel. Tonight's episode, we kind of talk about how you got a hurricane prep with the professionals that are born and raised Floridians, the people who really don't ever show the respect a hurricane really deserves at the end of any weather tracking.
Oh, yeah. If it's anything like Alejandro, he just has all booze and 2 little bottles of water.
For the kids.
I think he's got more than me. I think I've got expired Campbell's soup and some laundry to do.
You got bourbon?
Oh, I have bourbon.
You're good.
You're good. I have bourbon. I have some beer. But going back, like, I think people, because Florida is such a transient state, I think people forget, like, that we can tell when you're not born and raised in Florida. Like, people who travel to Florida and it's their first hurricane and they're buying batteries for things that they don't even own. Right. Like they've got like the AAA, AA, quadruple D, double D. It's like, they get the thick daddy batteries. You know what I'm talking about, Jack?
The C's.
The chode batteries.
Oh, yeah, the
or
D.
the D's.
Yeah, the D.
The D's.
Those big square ones that, it's like...
Hook a car battery? I don't know.
Yeah, then you'll see like somebody from Minnesota buy a flashlight that you have to go to first base on just for it to power up. Those shake weight lights. Oh, I'm like, all right. Well, why is your flashlight smoking a cigarette and posting on Facebook very dramatically?
Is it any different though, getting ready for a storm now that you do have a little one at home?
No, I think we're. Dude, I just found out about the name of the storm yesterday. I'm still figuring out other things in fatherhood, and then the storm happens. So I think I'm still prepared from the last storm. I've got stuff, but I'm going to have to find it. But I just always find it funny when you can tell someone came from up north and they're freaking out. And it's like, dude, 2 years ago, Publix was selling cakes to celebrate storms.
I know exactly, but we can't get those anymore.
Now they all have to be homemade. And that just doesn't hit it doesn't hit the same if you make a homemade, hurricane. I enjoy when corporate grocery stores get in on the fun of like, dude, everyone gets wasted. Let's make some cakes and have fun.
Right, exactly. This is Florida's way of doing it.
But things on the podcast, we definitely talk about the storm and how you can smell somebody who is not from here a mile away, and you're like, oh, dude, but. We pull out an American flag, a bandana, and we fight raindrops around here. All right, that's what we do. I'm pretty sure that one of my show members and best friends, and Nico Renato, got scammed by a dentist.
Oh no!
I saw an article about that lately, about if your dentist is scamming you. Like, I guess dentistry is treated differently than medicine. Yeah. So,
Tell me if this doesn't scream teeth scam. He goes in for a cleaning and he comes out, half of his mouth is clean.
Half.
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
And you would think it's bottom top. Negatory, Jack. Left side of the mouth clean, right side of the mouth still coffee stained.
So he's got to go back and pay again?
So he has to go back and pay again, but he had a full, he's on day 8 of looking like Two-Face or having this bipolar mouth vibe.
Does he have dental insurance?
Yeah, he has as he said it on the podcast, the cheap guy insurance. It's called DHOMO or something.
So I'm wondering with the.
I think I just spelled D-homo. My bad.
It's D-homo insurance, but I think you get 2 free cleanings a year. I think what that dentist did, he said he's going to bang out both cleanings with one, getting one mouth done.
Damn, I've never heard of that.
All right, this guy just looks like he drinks coffee one specific way his entire life for way too long of a time.
Laying down.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Only on his left.
Another thing that we talked about on the podcast is that it's this weird Good Sauce podcast tradition is that we have funerals. And we had our 3rd funeral.
You had one for Drake.
Yep, this one.
Yeah, because Kendrick bodied him.
Yeah, who else before that?
We had one, and we were pretty prophetic here. I'm going to pat ourselves on the back here. It was 3 days before Joe Biden dropped out. Yeah. We had to have a funeral for Joe Biden.
Oh, my.
Because,
you saw
yeah. You got Haagen-Dazs ice cream. He had a whole lot of that going on. And as a registered Democrat, I promised myself that I would hold my side accountable if I'm asking another side to hold themselves accountable. And that was our interpretation of doing that, was hopefully having some jokes at Joe Biden's on his side.
Well, I saw the video for tonight and laughed at that one, because that one, whoa.
Yeah, we went hard on the P. Diddy funeral.
All right.
Which, we had to talk about a little Puff Daddy action and how he has 3,500 metric tons of baby oil, which is a lot. That's enough to catch an ocean on fire. That's how much oil that is. That is
784 sex toys?
Yeah, and I guess, that's pretty cool to be that rich where you don't have to clean them. So you just get a new one every single time. So we have a funeral for good old Puff. I think it's in the clip as well that we should have seen this coming. That his name was Puff Daddy, and then he ended up kind of living up to that name on allegedly puffing on some daddies. And then he changed his name to P. Diddy And then that was even more telling than the first name because he ended up kind of diddying some peas.
Oh, yeah.
It's all right there in the stars if you just, step a couple feet away from it.
If you interpret it enough, you see exactly what we're talking about.
And lastly, I know we're up against the clock, but ever since my son was born, I definitely have stopped smoking weed as much. And by as much, I mean I am zero. I have not done. And for all of the cannabis people out there, God knows that I'm not coming close to judging you, but I feel like not enough weed smokers know that when you smoke weed every day, you tend to not dream when you go to sleep. I have stopped, and these nightmares are pungent. Last night, I had a nightmare of Conan O'Brien being a internet prank comedian, and he was pulling a prank on me, letting me know that I didn't know that my wife, in fact, had twins.
Oh, whoa. You need to go back to smoking weed.
Yeah, I might have to because I can't have nightmare Conan O'Brien driving me around in a van telling me I'm a bad dad because I didn't know about my second child.
You can't go back to smoking. Look at the creativity you're unlocking.
Seriously.
Yeah, boy. Lean into it.
That is crazy.
Keep a dream journal.
Episode 24, broadcast live at 8. You can subscribe to all the podcasts. We just added a second camera to the YouTube channel, so there's a lot more production going into the YouTube episodes. It's been a blast. It's been a hoot, and it's an absolute treat to always hop on some JCS and tell more and more people about it.
And listen, for those who want to know, Ross is going to be performing comedy at our next Sunset Walk Best of Challenge at Margaritaville.
It's true.
Yep, at 8 o'clock on that Saturday night, October 5th.
At the Wharf?
At the Wharf.
Yeah.
So many people can't wait to see you, Ross.
Yeah, there's a lot of dad jokes are already happening because when your son is born on 9/11 and your wife is born on Pearl Harbor, it kind of writes itself.
Right. At least they helped you out with that. Love you, Ross. Be safe.
Much love.
Much love to you and Olivia and your little man and your 2 dogs.
Oh, look at the baby.
I know. Look, where's the baby?
Well, it's no baby. It's no baby.
There's no baby.
I think he's on a boob. He's on a boob.
I would.
Yeah. He's drinking off of a boob right now, and I don't want to ruin your YouTube monetization.
Ruin it.
Oh, yeah. We're not monetized, but I get it.
Yeah, well, let's keep that channel still alive.
There you go. Thank you, Ross. Of course, check out his podcast tonight at 8 o'clock. And, of course, October 5th, he'll be doing comedy live at the Best of Challenge. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back, so keep it here on Real Radio 104.1.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James Miguel and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Still seeing heavy traffic in the usual spots on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area. Looking at delays due to accident activity northbound on Kirkman, where the left lane is blocked at International Drive. Looking at delays due to a crash westbound on 436 that blocks 2 right lanes at Montgomery Road. If you see other traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 in my garage after I overpaid for new blinds. I researched the industry, hired my mom, and 14 years later, we're one of the largest retailers of custom blinds in the U.S. Don't pay too much for new blinds. Go to Blindster.com.
Hey, here's what Julie had to say about Renewal by Andersen of Central Florida when she left a review on August 9th on Google. Wonderful job as expected. All of our windows are officially replaced by Renewal by Andersen. The best ever. Thanks, guys. I love my windows. First class. We even referred our parents, and you all are putting their windows in next week. Thank you for your class, communication, and excellence. So if you're ready to upgrade your home with energy-efficient windows and doors, this September, don't miss out on Renewal by Andersen season's exclusive sale. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors, plus zero money down, zero payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Their custom-made windows and doors are designed to keep your home comfortable year-round and also reduce your energy bills. But not only that, you get to choose from a variety of styles and finishes to match your home's aesthetic. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, license number CGC 1527613. Car crash? Call Klausman. KlausmanLaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN.
The biggest headliners in live music shared the stage this past weekend at our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Big Sean,
Camila Cabello, Doja Cat, Dua Lipa,
Gwen Stefani,
Halsey,
Hosier, Keith Urban,
New Kids on the Block, Paramore,
Shabuzi, The Black Crows, The Weeknd, Thomas Rhett,
Victoria Monet,
Chris from the band Coldplay. This lineup for this festival is nuts.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Get ready to relive the once-in-a-lifetime moments starting October 7th, only on Hulu.
Need cash fast? It doesn't get faster than Amscot, with cash advances from $50 to $1,000 and no credit check. Many branches open 24/7. Why wait? There's Amscot. Amscot. Some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-239-1749, 800-239-1749, or biglou.com.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Office Orlando.
Save up to 50% on select security systems with SafeTouch Security. With upgrades like remote door locks, video doorbell, thermostat control, and camera, all controlled by your MySafeTouch app. Visit safetouch.com. State license number EF200002049.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Tools Ace Hardware is your place for Benjamin Moore paint. They have over 3,500 Benjamin Moore paint colors to choose from. You can also bring in a sample and get a perfect color match to any color you want. Every Tools Ace Hardware has friendly and knowledgeable associates to give you expert advice on your paint project. Plus, Tools Ace Hardware has everything else you need, like brushes, drop cloths, rollers, paint trays, and more. Tools Ace Hardware has 13 convenient locations here in Central Florida, or you can shop online at acehardware.com for free in-store pickup or delivery. Tools Ace Hardware, your local helpful place.
I'm Carrie Champion, and this is Season 4 of Naked Sports. Up first, I explore the making of a rivalry.
Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese.
Every great player needs a foil.
People are talking about women's basketball just because of one single game. I just come here to play basketball every single day.
Clark and Reese have changed the way we consume women's sports. Listen to The Making of a Rivalry, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search The Making of a Rivalry, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, and start listening.
Discover the new Buick SUVs in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Hey, so apparently Facebook is still a thing. Search gym members and join our group.
What do you, Colbert crew? I've lived in Brevard County for all 37 glorious years of my existence. And the things you need to stock up on: toilet paper, beer, bourbon, pot, duct tape, and I guess food. Somewhere you gotta eat, you know.
Hey guys, Sue in Melbourne, hunkering down. Not really. Grew up here, and one of the things we learned was turn your refrigerator on really, really cool. So if you lose power, it maintains coolness for a while. So that's what I've done in the past. Same with your air conditioner. Cool it down fast. Good luck, everybody. Love ya.
Wooly doula. Wooly doula.
Hey, watch it now, watch it.
Oh, I love our audience. They're the best. Teabag, Sue, Wooly Doola, Wooly Doola.
Because they're nuts.
They are nuts.
Like us.
Exactly. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. We really do appreciate you spending part of this day, especially this being a storm prep day with us. You've got Deb Jack, our special guest co-host, who is hanging in there. Alejandro, how you doing?
I'm having a blast.
Are you really?
I love this show.
Oh, we love having you on, and I know 6:30 on a. This is normally like bedtime for you, right?
Hour number 13 I'm on.
There you
in the
go.
studio. But yeah, I love this show so much. I paid Jack to be invited.
Did you really, Jack? How much
He doesn't pay me. I pay him.
No, we don't talk.
We don't talk.
We don't, like, to Alejandro, what are taxes?
Exactly. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are under the table payments?
Exactly. Listen, we really appreciate your hurricane hacks as well. Got a few in earlier today as well. This is pretty interesting. Somebody said earlier, they texted us at 77031 and said that if you don't have a waterproof safe or a fireproof safe to keep your important documents, put them in like in a Ziploc bag and put them on the top rack of your dishwasher. Because that way, if you get any flooding in your kitchen,
that is waterproof.
It's waterproof, and it will keep your documents or anything else that you want preserved and safe. That'll keep it dry in your dishwasher. Another thing too, we talked earlier tonight about how important it is to not assume that because all of the sides on your carport are open, so that means it's a safe place to run your generator. Generators are made to run even if it's pouring rain on them, so that way you don't operate them in a garage, in a patio, or under a carport. But somebody had also said that part of the reason for that is because carbon monoxide will rise up from the generator and go through your soffit ventilation into your attic and then creep back down into your home. So never put a generator underneath your soffit. Put it at least 5 feet away from your home. And that's from Wayne Phelps, a journeyman electrician, who passed that hack on to us as well. And someone else said, yes, you can cook pizza rolls on the grill.
Oh, cool.
That's good to know.
It is. That's great to know.
That is great to know.
Actually, you know what we're doing? Tomorrow we have our Froggers football forecast where we make our picks. But Froggers, I checked with them today. I checked with Mike today. He said they are open tomorrow. It's the Altamont Springs one is where I'll be picking up our lunch.
Hey, and if you need lunch, you know where you need to go as well.
And I just texted Bob Fryer. I say, hey, pal, you still joining us tomorrow?
I was wondering about that. You know, these are the conditions, right? You have to ask guests, listen, are you comfortable driving in and hanging out with us under these kinds of storm conditions?
Yeah, we don't know how bad it's going to get.
We don't. We really don't. In fact, Jack and I are in the process of figuring out, like, what tomorrow at the end of the show is going to look like, because according to Laurel Blanchard, the meteorologist from Fox 35, we were lucky enough to talk to at 3:45 today, she said pretty much about the time that this show ends tomorrow is when the nastiest weather is expected to hit.
Good. I'll catch a nice tailwind home.
Is that your way of saying you're not staying here tonight?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, let's see how it plays out.
We're gonna have to say. Yeah.
We have to see how it plays out.
This is when mornings is kind of nice, right?
Maybe we're on the air till 8 tomorrow, or 9. Or
right, 10. Or 10.
Or
11. I don't think it's going to be that bad over here.
Or 12.
Yeah, got to play it safe.
Or until the Monsters on Friday. Jack and Deb overnight.
All the time.
With Bob Fryer.
Yay. And Alejandro.
He has a jingle.
No, we don't even have the shift settled, but we've got the jingle.
AI?
Exactly. We've got Jack.
By the way, Jack, you're slacking. You usually feed me when I come over here to the show. What happened today?
Yeah.
I got an Oreo cookie.
Okay, we got cookies. We got little treats out there. Did
you hear that attitude?
I told him, I go, listen, I got Tuesday. I think I gave you a choice of 2 or 3 days. And we're being fed 2 of the 4 days that Jim was out.
Right.
We had tacos yesterday, and we have Froggers tomorrow.
I chose the wrong day.
He chose Wednesday.
Oh,
but tomorrow is a storm coming, so I'm happy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll eat after I get out of here.
Okay. For a second there, I thought you were offering to come back and spend, tomorrow night here at the station with us. Yeah, exactly.
I can share my apple slices with you. I forgot I have them.
And then Alejandro can bring his bourbon, and then we can steep your apple slices in the bourbon.
Let's go.
I think that sounds like a plan.
I'm sold.
Okay.
That was easy.
But we really do hope everyone stays safe with the storm. And again, this is where you have to be prepared, right? Because if the wind
Don't look at Alejandro when you're talking about being prepared.
I know. Okay, let me switch back this way.
There you go.
When you're talking about, the storm being 370 miles outside of the center, it's kind of, even now, South Florida, Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, all of those areas, they're like, nah, you don't need anything to worry about. They're like, yep, actually, you kind of do.
Well, yeah, and, we'll get some winds, we'll get some heavy rains and stuff, but, losing power is going to suck if that happens.
I know.
But that's why it's important to have a radio. If you still have a radio that's battery powered, we will be on.
Yes, we will.
We have backup power here. That doesn't suck. But, so we will be on if you lose power on the device where you normally listen to us.
So definitely get, also to let you know, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party has also been canceled for tomorrow night.
What?
Because it was going to be scary.
Yeah, it was going to be scary. Absolutely.
And tonight was a Stained show with Breaking Benjamin that was postponed as well.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on in Central Florida that's been, canceled. Again, most of the theme parks are planning to be open tomorrow. That could change. Water parks, however, are going to be closed.
We're supposed to be doing as a station Halloween Horror Nights tomorrow.
Oh,
tomorrow night.
No.
Yeah, we're staying over there and we're broadcasting on Friday from Universal, but we're supposed to have the Halloween Horror Nights event tomorrow night.
Do you know if you guys are still going to be able to do that? I mean, from everything Universal has said.
They haven't said no, but
exactly.
I don't think we're going to go through with it. Plus, it won't be fun if we're getting rained on and, all night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. You just have to stay in and drink.
Yeah.
We feel bad for you.
Me too.
Someone did just text us, though, and let us know that the generator companies put on their directions to not leave in the rain. So read your directions. Just don't put them anywhere near your windows or your doors, because it's so sad every year when you hear about someone thinking they put it far enough away and then they didn't. And if you don't, do you have a carbon monoxide detector in your home?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
I do. It's one of the smoke detectors is special for that.
Oh, okay, cool. What about you, Jack?
I do.
Yeah?
I bought one online. You plug it into the wall, and it just sits in a plug that I normally don't use in the kitchen area. So
yeah,
just in case.
Those are one of those things they do recommend that you should have in your homes because, colorless, odorless, and you don't know if it's hanging around.
The silent killer.
The silent killer, exactly. Although my only experience with a generator was after Hurricane Charlie, and hearing your next door neighbor fire up a generator. That's when you become instant friends. Hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, you want a cold beer? How's that generator?
Yeah, and you could wait after the storm to fire up the generator. You don't need power when you're in the middle of that.
Right,
people
exactly.
talking about the rain and leaving it outside. You could wait till it stops, and if you lose power, then you fire
you'll
it
use
up
it.
and you use it. Yeah.
But it's another thing that you probably need to have, and this is something I always forget about, is entertainment. All of our entertainment is on our iPads, our phones, our laptops,
Or if you
our
rely
television.
on streaming.
Yes.
Like if you only have streaming and you don't have internet, that's when those old-fashioned, DVDs, if you have electricity.
Right.
But board games.
Let's cards.
Go. Let's do a puzzle, everybody.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Good luck.
Let's do
How are
it.
you going to do a puzzle in the dark?
It's
'Cause
a
if you had
daytime puzzle.
Oh, okay.
It's the
Fine.
sun's still working, I believe.
I'm picturing nighttime and we lose power. That's why we don't have all the other gadgets. Because I have an old-fashioned game. If you lose power at night, I just play hide and go seek and scare my wife every time she turns the phone. It's very entertaining.
Really?
Yeah, so she starts, Alex, and I just stay very quiet until she gets close. Ah! And I do that a few times. It's very entertaining. You don't need power for that. Just a little bourbon again. I do that until she starts drinking with me.
Okay, I was going to say, that's really taking your life into your own hands right there, because you come around the wrong corner, una latina, tan peligroso. You want to be careful with that.
Yeah, no. I stay distance. I stay
You
at a
stay at
distance.
distance?
Yeah.
That poor woman.
I know. She is a saint, man. She really is a saint. But that's always those things that you never think of, because when you think of entertainment, when you think of what you do after you get home from work, it's all power-based.
Yeah.
You know, and then you realize, I have to read a book? What the?
What a great point. Anyone who maybe is in, let's call it a football pool, or maybe you have a fantasy football team, set your lineups now while you have power, just in case you lose power before then.
Oh.
What a great
because
thought.
the commissioner won't care.
You're right. The
The commissioner
will
won't
not
care if you don't have power, especially if they're not in the same town. They're like, hey.
And not
what
our
is it?
problem.
Dallas at the Giants tomorrow, I believe.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah. The NFC East matchup. You know what? That should be an easy pick.
Yeah, but what? Is it?
Don't you think it is?
I'm picking the Giants.
Really?
Cowboys suck.
Thank you. I can't.
They've been doing so bad. I mean, the Giants suck too. Don't look at me like that. But
Yeah. Wait, it's just which team sucks more. I
Exactly,
think
yeah.
it's the Giants, though.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going with Cowboys.
Dallas has more talent, although both teams are kind of directionless.
Yeah, more talent, but they're not using it.
No.
Well, someone who has something that they're not using. I have 2 half bottles of bourbon, 5 cases of craft beer, and some fine medical cannabis. Can I come to the party?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, invited.
There you go. You got your invite straight from Alejandro himself. Okay, what we're going to do now, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to do what you heard it here first, as well as our thank you list, and maybe wrap up some more hurricane hacks. So if you have any really great ideas that have helped you get through storms in the past, please feel free to send them to us at 77031. You can also send us a talk back, maybe share where you are listening to us. So far, we have Alaska, Puerto Rico, Portland, Oregon, and Melbourne.
Yeah.
But we'd love to add your place and your hurricane hack to that list. So do that now, and we'll come back. So keep it here, Real Radio 104.1.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
What's up, everybody? Fox 35, Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergen here. We are looking at Hurricane Helene's impact to Central Florida. Scattered showers and storms on Thursday. It won't rain the entire day. From those storms, especially in the afternoon and evening, a chance for a few tornadoes. The ambient wind will gust at times over 55 miles an hour. Once we get up closer to the Gainesville and Alachua County areas, I think gusts will potentially exceed 75 miles an hour. Some power outages are possible Thursday afternoon and evening.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Blindster is a family-run business that began in 2010, and we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters and received over 100,000 five-star reviews. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Man, are your energy costs through the roof? Well, maybe it's time to replace those single-pane aluminum windows with the most energy-efficient option out there. Keep that heat outside during the summer and inside during the winter. Too much outside noise getting in, they got you covered there. Consider replacing those older windows and doors. Use laminated insulated glass. That can provide as much as 100% improvement. We want to keep that outside noise where it belongs. And, of course, that is outside. And when it comes to rebates, they have you covered as well. $100 per window, $200 per door. And they even offer 24-month, no money money down. No payment, no interest financing as well. Their showroom is super easy to find. Fairbanks and I-4. Slide in, pick out the windows you love, have them installed. Your house will love you. Your AC will love you. For a completely free in-home consultation, call FAS or visit them online at trusttheleaderfas.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable. They've hit the parlay. Let's go!
Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we're seeing the unseeable. Using advanced imaging technology, our experts can look deeper into the human body, uncovering the smallest of details that would otherwise go unnoticed, leading to more accurate diagnoses and treatments. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. September is Healthy Aging Month. You know what that means? Taking care of yourself right now so there are no problems later. And with a scan over at Life Imaging FLA, you can do that. Let me tell you something, man. This thing has impacted so many people, saving their lives. And here's how they do it. They show people something they didn't know they had a problem with. That's why it's so important to be proactive instead of reactive when it comes to your long-term health. In 30 to 40% of heart attacks, the very first symptom is sudden death. In other words, it's the first thing that happens before you know what's going on. So do what I did, do what plenty of Central Floridians are doing, get with Life Imaging FLA and get that free heart scan. Just a few minimum requirements. It is a $699 value and it's easy to make your appointment. Simply pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say the keyword free heart scan. That's all you got to do. Pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds, guys. Make that call and make this the year you take control of your long-term health care. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia. Sunset Walk presents the Best of Challenge Taco Edition, Saturday, October 5th at the Promenade. Join me and the cast of The Jim Colbert Show as we host the Best of Challenge. 11 venues competing to be crowned the best taco of Sunset Walk. Participants include BurgerFi, Cowboy Chicken, Ford's Garage, and Island H2O Water Park. VIP tasting tickets on sale now at sunsetwalk.com. Spectators and parking are free. Plus, DJ Scotty B, Society Band, and more. The Best of Challenge Taco Edition, Saturday, October 5th at Sunset Walk.
Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than Frogger's Grill and Bar. We've got your sports fix covered with Saturday college football, NFL football on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays too. Catch all the action on our tons of high-definition TVs while enjoying drink specials available all week long. Don't miss out on Frogger's amazing menu, where everything is fresh, never frozen. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, and Altamont Springs. Frogger's, hopping with food and fun.
With 3 generations and over 45 years of Florida experience, Handyman Roofing knows storms and hurricanes. We know how to evaluate storm-damaged roofs and not cause more damage. Handyman Roofing has the expertise to get your roof done. Plus, easy financing in case your insurance company is dragging its feet. With multiple emergency response teams ready, Handyman Roofing will be by your side now when you need it the most.
Knows how to get things done. Count on Handyman Roofing to get it done. Handyman Roofing to get it done.
Need help navigating your will or trust? Visit onefirmforlife.com today for your free consultation.
Stay tuned to The Jim Colbert Show as we demonstrate our attitude of gratitude. Our thank you segment is sponsored by Life Imaging FLA. Now open. Call pound 250 keyword heart scan. Want more from us? At The Jim Colbert Show on Instagram. Follow us.
Hey guys, I hope you guys are doing well. Small Manji, the realtor. Well, you already have two guys with very sexy accents over there. I'm the third one here, but I don't think my accent is that sexy. Thank you. Come again. Bye.
Hey guys, long-time listener, Lisa checking in from St. Pete Beach. I miss you guys so much. Getting ready to deal with this crazy storm and 5 to 7 feet of water. A little crazy. Take care, guys. Be safe.
You too.
Good afternoon, morning, Colbert, Carew, and Alejandro. So here's another hurricane hack. If you have a generator that is powerful enough and you have electrical knowledge or a friend that does, you can wire that thing directly into your panel, and you can basically just power your whole house without having any extension cords.
Yeah, be careful.
Even the AC, in my case.
We don't
With
recommend.
That, Big T out.
No, what was that?
I mean, you can't. He's talking about using a generator to, wire it to your house, so you're feeding electricity into your house, just like the power company does.
Right.
However, if you are not an electrician, please don't just do that on your own.
No,
yeah.
You didn't hear it from us.
That's going to be a news story we're talking about on Friday.
Exactly, and we do not want to make that a news story that we're talking about on Friday. I do like the person who texted, though. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, by the way, on Real Radio 104.1. Weather permitting, we'll get the Jim part back on Friday. Don't worry if we don't. We've got someone lined up. We do have Deb Jack and our special guest co-host today, Alejandro.
Yes, you do.
Yes, we do. Thank you again. 13 hours here in the studio today.
Yes.
So
I'm about to go on 14. But no, thank you for having us. Thank you for having me. I love you guys.
We love having you
I'm
guys.
a listener when I'm not here.
We know that.
And I laugh.
I love the way you make the straight guys who come on our show.
That's surprising. Unabashedly, they will say, "Oh, I love his voice." It's like
Scott Maxwell, Daryl Payne.
Yeah.
It's like bromance all over the place today.
I know.
It was great.
It's a little embarrassing.
Right, like you don't like it.
Yeah.
But kudos to the listener who texted us to say that they have an inflatable movie screen and a projector so they can put up the whole neighborhood can come by and watch a movie. Isn't that cool?
Yeah,
absolutely. Be outside where it's cooler than being inside. Have you been here yet through a storm, Alejandro, where you've lost power? Yeah. Oh, that's right.
I mean, it's been a couple of hours.
Right.
I mean, here in Central Florida, it's only been a few hours. They're pretty fast about getting our power back up.
Yeah, it was nothing like Andrew.
No, Andrew was weeks.
Yeah, it's the damage, but it's also where you live. Like I mentioned, across the street for me was a week longer than I was out, which is good. I figured I'm on the same grid with a school. I don't know if that mattered or you just get lucky.
Yeah. I mean, it could be if that school was used as a shelter that they needed to keep the power on for that. I know for me, back during Charlie, Francis, and Jean, being so close to ORMC, which was at the time the only level 1 trauma center in most of Central Florida, they got that grid back up pretty quick. But I do remember that for Francis and Jean, we went and stayed somewhere where the power lines were just buried underground. Because that way you didn't have to worry about losing power.
Also, great point as, on Big T's tip about using a generator to pump into your house. What you have to be really careful, if you are still connected to the power company, you can also be sending that power back up the line while workers are working on those lines. So you definitely need to be careful about that. And if you're not an electrician, don't be messing with it.
Yeah, exactly. And if you do see those crews coming in.
Come on, Big T, you know better.
Yeah, Big T, we expect better from you.
You know what's scary? When power goes out like at 6, 7 in the afternoon and you forget to turn the switches off in the house. And then it comes back at 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Talk about a PTSD attack. Everything got so bright in the middle of the night. So make sure you turn all the switches off, even if you have no power.
I want to be a fly on your wall.
It's no fun.
I know.
I ended up under the bed.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was
Incoming!
like, what just happened? Everything lit up.
And I guess when you've spent a year in Iraq, when the night sky lights up, that's never a good sign.
No. In the middle of the night, you imagine?
Exactly. That's never a good sign. And here's the most important thing to remember. Calories don't count during hurricanes.
That's true.
That is your hurricane hack. And probably the most important.
Darnell from New Jersey texts in, says, make sure your cell phones are charged.
Yeah, that's another big one, too.
Yeah.
Because every year you hear about someone who has to go sit in their car just to get a couple of bars to be able to charge their phone.
Laptops, iPads,
Yes.
charge them now, because also your laptop, you can use that to charge your cell phone if you have battery on that and your cell phone runs out and you don't have power.
Right. That's a good point, as well as making sure that those portable chargers that you have, any weather radios, because, so much today, if it's not powered by batteries, you can just simply plug it into the outlet and charge it that way. So if you have a weather radio, make sure your phone, not only is it charged, but make sure it is set to receive government alerts. So if we get an alert from FEMA, if you get an alert from your county government, your phone will accept those push notifications. So just little things here and there to remember that helps you get through the storm. That and 2 bottles of bourbon.
Yeah.
When are we supposed to be getting the worst part? Tomorrow afternoon? Tomorrow
afternoon.
Yeah.
But and with our Fox weather report we just heard during the break, I mean, for us here, some heavy rain, gusts of winds, 50 mile an hour plus. So not too crazy, but still stay inside. You don't need to be out in it.
Yeah, because that's the real big concern is as the really bad weather, arrives, just you want to check the radar and check the road conditions before you try and get on the roads, because more often than not, they end up seeing more fatalities than they'd like to see simply because people are pushing the boundaries thinking that their car can get them home.
Yeah, and all you need is a tree branch to take the power out on a grid,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
It don't take that much.
Exactly. So what do you say? Let's go ahead and do You Heard It Here First.
It's time for You Heard It Here First on the Jim Colbert Show.
Yeah, forecasters say Hurricane Helene is expected to make landfall in Florida late Thursday. The storm is expected to bring life-threatening storm surge, damaging winds and floods to much of the Sunshine State and the southeastern U.S. I mean, you're looking at Georgia, Tennessee, a lot of other states. Governor DeSantis says if ordered to evacuate, it's okay to hunker down in your area because if you head into Georgia, it may follow you.
To try to outrun it is probably not something that is advisable. You can go within your own county to higher ground, a shelter, hotel, friends, family house. Remember, you hide from wind, but you run from the water.
Helene could make landfall in Florida's Big Bend region as a Category 4 hurricane as it continues to intensify over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Storm is around 450 miles southwest of Tampa at last check, and this will be the 4th hurricane to make landfall in the U.S. this year.
I love that was a sly shot by the governor. I got to give him credit on that one. Don't go to Georgia. Keep your money here.
Exactly.
In Florida.
Keep it in Florida, people.
Yeah, don't turn this into an impromptu vacation.
Exactly. Miami-Dade County first responders are providing extra support as Hurricane Helene continues to move closer to Florida's Gulf Coast. More than 160 members from Florida Task Force 1 and 2 started their journey to the central portion of the state earlier today. Before heading out, the Miami-based teams loaded up tractors, boats, food, and medical supplies to help with future rescues. Officials are going to remain here in Orlando and Ocala until the storm passes. They'll eventually assist with damage assessment and disaster relief distribution.
Dig it.
And then finally, the U.S. could run out of some popular fruits within weeks due to an unexpected port strike. The International Longshoremen's Association along the East Coast and Gulf of Mexico say they will strike at the end of the month unless there's a new contract. Now, the strike could impact deliveries of things like bananas, pineapples, grapes, and more. The White House says it will not invoke its legal powers to intervene. J.P. Morgan says the cost to the country if a strike happens will be roughly how much money a day?
Oh, this is going to be $5 billion.
Give yourself
a day.
Give yourself a dong, my friend. You hit it right on the head.
Wow.
$5 billion a day.
He read that before.
I did not. I'm shocked.
It's true. $5 billion a day, and you heard it here first on The Jim Colbert Show.
Wow.
I know.
But that stinks. But I guess, eat American-made fruit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, hey, in a state like Florida, most of that you can grow right in your own backyard.
Yeah, that's why I eat California oranges.
Way to go, Jack.
I like the navels.
Everybody loves a good navel.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that doesn't sound right.
Uh-huh.
All right, on our list of thank yous, first and foremost, once again, Alejandro, thank you for coming in and co-hosting with us
Thank you
today.
guys for having me.
Yeah.
Gracias, senor.
Thank you for feeding me.
Gracias, senor.
Thank you for feeding me.
Absolutely. Next time.
Ooh. We also
Come
want
by
to
tomorrow.
We also want to thank, speaking of our Fox 35 meteorologist Laurel Blanchard joining us today, Daryl Payne with Pawfection Dog Training, Orlando Sentinel columnist Scott Maxwell. Brad, thank you so much for taking care of trivia for us this week. Ross Paget, Papa Paget for Good Sauce with Ross and Joel. That comes on tonight at 8 o'clock, right, Jack?
Yeah, tonight at 8, following a corporate time with Tom and Dan.
And then last but never least, Sam Bowen and Candace Rich for running our YouTube chat. Jack, any polls or anything we need to take care of?
Yeah, based on a revelation Alejandro made earlier in the program, I posed the question in YouTube chat, do you prepare for Hurricane Helene? Did you prepare? Where do you think it came?
I'm going to go 25% said they did.
They did just 25% yes. You think 75% say no?
I mean, here in Central Florida, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, 66% say no, so 2/3 did not do any prep for this.
I knew
hurricane.
I had a lot of people listening. a lot of my people.
A lot of your people listening, exactly. Well, listen, we do appreciate you listening. We're going to be back tomorrow at 3 for more information about the storm and fun here on the Jim Colbert Show. We follow the news junkie. They follow the monsters in the morning. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock with more of the Jim Colbert Show. Until then, be safe, put some hump in your day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Oh, shut up.